Hey guys, how's it going? Let me set this room up real quick and then we can get started. All right. All these settings set up real quick. Open up the chat. Today's March 2nd, 2nd of the month. Looks like the market has kind of slowed down quite a bit, guys, from yesterday. I mean, it's been slow for the Forex market overall, but for indices, looks like kind of slowed down as well. Not sure if you guys caught there's another scalp here that was available right over here, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it, but if you guys did, it looks like it would have hit full TP off that right there. Yeah, full TP off that one. But anyways, let me finish setting up this room real quick, guys, so I can send out the link, and then we should be good to go. All right. Looks pretty solid to me. Send this link out, and then we should be good to go. All right. Live. This link out to you guys. I think I got a link sent out to the Telegram groups. Let me just get this sent to Facebook, and then we should be good to go. So yeah, guys, just like I was saying, you know, the Forex market's kind of slow, but the indices market it slowed down slightly and then it picked right back up. So hopefully we catch some good scalps today. Should be able to. And there was a scalp that just happened right there, guys. If you guys caught that one, I didn't catch it because it was so close to the market open, so I didn't want to take it. Unfortunately, I probably should have because it hit straight TP off that, which is all good. I mean, we're gonna catch more. That's not the only one. Let me finish sending this link out real quick. All right, and a few other places, the Instagram and the Facebook. All right, got that on the Facebook. Now just the Instagram, and we should be good to go. Let me screenshot this real quick. Save the link. All right, looks good. All right, guys, so good morning. Happy, what is today, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, guys. Second day of the week. Looking for some more scalps here. Like I was mentioning earlier, the Forex market is kind of slow. We do have a couple trades running. We have Euro USD right here. I got out of this at TP2 down here. I'm not sure if you guys are still in trade, but this is still running right now. And then we have KJPY as well. So we have this, and then we have KJPY running over here to TP2 for 30 pips. So I think that's all we got running right now, guys. We got KJPY for a buy, Euro USD for a sell, and then US 30 here. We're gonna be looking for some scalps. So I'll be going down the list over here. Let me just pull up the YouTube real quick and see who is in here. Let me just activate the chat. Chat looks like it's good to go. But yeah, guys, like I was mentioning earlier, there was a couple trades here that were available. This one right here, this was the most recent one, this red candle. There was a rejection off the pivot in the structure right there. So if you took that trade full TP, Also, if you took the trade down here, there was also two more, these two red candles right here. So if you missed this one right here, you could have taken these, or if you missed these two right here, you could have taken this one and it would hit full TP. Same with this right here. So it looks like there was a bunch that hit full TP here. Let me see. Another one right here. It looks like this one might have taken a loss if you guys took this trade. I'm not sure if anyone took this one. Let me see. Let me map it to see if it actually, no, this would have survived. So if you guys took any of these trades here, it looks like all of them would have hit TP. If you took any of these, like this one looks really close, but yeah, not quite, because stop loss would have been 50 pips right here. So it would have been right close to it, but not exactly, and it would have pushed right back up. So I'm not sure if you guys took that one, but if so, then you guys would have been doing pretty good. So let me get the Zoom link out to you guys as well. For you guys here in the premium. There you go, you guys. So there is your Zoom link, and let's get started. So let's start looking for some trades here. Hey, City. Morning, Marcus. Morning, Kushi. Morning, Steven. Morning, Kirsten. Morning, John. Morning, Matt. Steven, nice work off your trades, bro. I saw your trades over here. You, yeah, you said you had 3-in-1 snipes. So nice. You killed it with those snipes right there, back to back to back. So it looks like you sniped. You used a snipe strategy for US 30, EG, and a couple of US 30s right here as well. So nice work off that, bro. I know you had an issue yesterday with the scouts we took last night, but nice work on bouncing back real quick. So back to the indices right here. Let me just go down the list. I'll see if there's anything here that we could have possibly taken, or if anyone else took any trades here. Doesn't look like there's anything here for the Aussie 200. I mean, I'm gonna mark it up anyways, just so that we can see if there's any possible entries here. So nothing there for the Aussie. The China 50 looks like this pair just flatlined for the most part. Here, let me see. Looks like you guys are trying to get into this room. Get this room going. All right, yeah. So let me just check this out real quick. So just looking at the China 50 right here, it looks like this kind of flatlined a little bit. So there really isn't much to take right here. Let me turn this off real quick. Yeah, nothing here for the China 50. Let's move on to the Spain 35. So I'm just going down all the indices right here, guys, because I know all you guys are located in different areas. Not all you guys are here located in the US. So I will be looking at these other indices here for you guys that are located in different areas. And that's kind of the cool thing about these indices. There's like one for every major country. So you guys can literally trade indices wherever you are located, or you can just stick to US 30. I trade US 30 all day. So you don't have to necessarily be located in the US to trade US 30. Nothing there for the Spain 35. Let's check the French index over here. Yeah, I don't really see anything here either. Yeah, it looks like the market got kind of choppy last night after we entered Asia session, because it was moving pretty smooth during US session where we locked in all those profits yesterday. But looking at these indices now look kind of choppy. So I'm just marking up these zones real quick, guys, so I can identify if there was any possible entries, anything that we should keep an eye on, et cetera, et cetera. So let me just get this ready going. Just want to see if there was any entries for the DAX last night and today. So let me see this real quick. All right, so looking at the DAX right here, let me see if there's any entries that happen. The DAX looks kind of messy. It looks like it's just been consolidating right here. Yeah, it looks like it's been going back and forth for the DAX. So it looks like we might take it a little easier today until like the market starts actually moving, which it should. It should start moving during Asia session. It's just right now it's been a little slower. And obviously you guys can see here that some of these indices they're just not good to scalp, right? I mean, they're not, well, right now they're not. The main ones that I trade, US 30, that like that one still has good entries. I'll show you those. But it looks like everything else here is kind of choppy. Say, let me see if there's anything here that we could have taken. Like this red one right here. So that's the most recent one, this red candle right here. Rejection off the pivot in the structure right here. So that would have been one entry for that. I'm checking NASDAQ. Look at this huge candle right here. This is what you don't want to trade. You don't want to trade one super choppy like this because you'll get caught in stop loss. I mean, technically you would hit TP. So let me just show you real quick. But this is why we don't trade on market open, because there's these huge spikes. And the problem is if your stop loss is too tight, which it usually is if you're scalping, you're going to get kicked out before you even get to your TP. But I think for this right here, you probably would hit TP before it hits stop loss. So like, I'm showing you guys here for the NASDAQ. Let's see, the first entry would have been this green one right here. So if you were to take this trade, see if you would hit TP before it hits stop loss. Yeah, so you would hit TP here before it hit stop loss, but you know, this is a risky trade. It literally got to TP and then it dropped heavily. So I probably wouldn't take that trade. That's why we don't take trades on market open right here. So the NASDAQ, that looks fine. Let's see, UK 100. I know a lot of you guys like to trade this. There was probably some entries here during the London session. So I got these marked up right there. All right, that's it. So let's take a look at this real quick. Doesn't look like there was any entries. Yeah, there's no entries here for UK 100. So I don't think you guys traded that. Let's see S&P. See if there are any entries here. Zones are kind of messy. So I'm trying to see where they overlap. All right, so looking at the S&P right here, see if there was any entries here that you guys could have possibly taken. So like I mentioned, we don't take the opening candle right here at 630, but before that, you would have taken, I mean, if you took this trade here, it looks like this is the most recent entry, one of these green candles. If you took any of these right here, let's see if it's TP. Yeah, so this would have hit TP. If you took either of these candles, this one or this one, it would have hit TP if you're trading the S&P. But obviously, this is why we don't trade the opening candle, because check out this candle right here. Huge spikes, right? So we're waiting for it to smoothen out a bit. There's possibly a scalp entry right there. Let me pull up US 30 real quick. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a scalp entry right here for US 30. Let me see if I can open mine real quick. Actually, I'm going to hold off on it. I mean, I want to take it, but it looks super, super risky. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take it. Let me check this real quick. Let me just watch this real quick, guys, and then I'll check the chat real quick to see what's going on. I haven't looked at it yet. Sorry, I'm going to right now. I'm just checking for these trades right now. I'm trying to see if I should take this scalp right here. I'm kind of tempted to, but I don't want to hop into it too too early. So let's see. Yeah, because look at that big drop right there, right? I'm probably gonna hold off on entering this right now, guys, because it's bounced around way too much. Yeah, so we'll hold off on this, guys. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, if you took this earlier trade over here, would have hit full TP. This would hit TP. This would hit TP. Like all of these would hit TP. And I want to take this one right here, but it is bouncing around a lot. So I'm going to see how it closes. If it closes nicely, then I'll probably take it. Let me check CNBC real quick. So it's a pretty mixed market right now. Or actually, they're all down. So they're all down on open. So what I'm anticipating is that by like 10, it's going to swing up. It's going to recover by afternoon, unless something crazy really happens and just crashes the market. Then it's going to keep dropping. However, I think it's going to push up. So you know what? I'm going to probably wait for it to bounce around, because it's probably gonna drop for the next 2 hours. If you guys have been following me, usually, if this starts off red for the day, like when market opens, usually by midday it's gonna swing back green. So just keep that in mind, okay? So I'm not gonna take any trades right now. This is probably gonna drop down. So this is gonna drop slightly, and then by the end of the day or like afternoon, it's gonna swing back up. See, look at this big drop right here. This is why I don't take the trades just yet. So just hold off, guys. Don't take any trades yet. Just wait, and be patient, because this look at this huge candle right here, guys. Yeah, guys, just chill out. Don't take any trades right now. And let me just check the chat since we're gonna be chilling a little bit. Let's see. Morning, Peter. Morning, Funky. Morning, Edwin. Morning, Trell. Morning, Kel. Kel said that one dislike from an unprofitable trader. There's always like one person that comes in here and does that. I don't care. Go ahead, and if you guys don't want to watch these videos, go ahead and unlike it so you guys don't get my videos anymore. It doesn't really change any difference to us because we're still gonna profit whether you like it or unlike it. And you're actually doing yourself a disfavor by unliking the video, because then YouTube's gonna be like, oh, he doesn't want to watch Shawn's videos anymore, so we're just not gonna show him in the algorithm, which is fine. It's perfect for me because it's your loss if you wanna unlike it or not. Because I know a lot of people do it to fuck around. They just unlike it. But then when the K2 video stopped showing up on the feed, they were like, why did K2 stop showing up? It's because you don't like the video, idiot. All right. Sorry, guys. My messages are going. Sorry, guys. My like Telegram is blowing up right now. So if you guys message me on Telegram, I'm not going to be able to respond to you guys just yet. We're going to be looking for some scalps. Look at this huge drop right here. So like I mentioned, see how it's red right here for the indexes? Once we get to mid-market, unless something's like causing the market to drop further and further, it's usually going to swing back. So I'm going to let it swing down a little bit for now. So we might be taking sell scalps from now until like 10. And then by 10, I'm probably going to hold off on it, because it's probably going to swing back up. So we could probably expect it to drop for the next 2-3 hours. And then it's probably going to recover like around 10 my time, which is in about 3 hours or so. But anyways, let me keep checking through here. Alan, morning, Dwayne. Marcus is asking what broker do you use, Shawn? I use FTMO and I use Hugo's Way, but I don't really use, I'm probably going to stop using Hugo's Way and just use my FTMO because the pricing is a little different. So for some reason, like the trades don't execute and it just becomes a hassle if the trades don't execute on my personal Hugo's Way. So I use FTMO mostly for my bigger account, and then I use Hugo's Way as well for my smaller account. City said that would be dislike. LOL, the live just started. That one dislike. Hey, what's up, Morning Samurai? Let's see who else is here. Kirsten said, Shawn, can you confirm the 2-hour? I'll check that right now, Kirsten. So let me check the chat real quick. So you guys mentioned this daily entry. So this daily entry is technically valid. I'm not going to enter it right away though. I'm going to hold off, and then we're probably going to enter it as a sell stop. So let me see. So whenever we have a big drop like that, I usually just like to wait for it to come back down, because it's going to retrace a little bit, but I think overall it's going to drop, at least for the day. Not like long term, but I think for the day it'll probably drop. So guys, I'll call this signal here for you guys in the premium. Let me let Karen in the room real quick. Let me just call you this trade for you guys in the premium. And remember, guys, this is a sell stop. Don't enter a market order. It's a sell stop order. All right, so I'm calling this trade for you guys in the premium group real quick. Let me just parameters set up. All right. just do the math on this real quick. So let me check the price for US 30. The price for US 30 here is 31495 minus 31506. It's only off by like 10 pips. So it's not really off by that much. Let me just copy this over right here. So guys, another reminder, this is a sell stop order. It's not a market order. I'm going to make the edits on this real quick. So let's see, it's only off by like 10 pips. So like 65, 9, 390, 1. Just check this real quick. And this is why it's a sell stop order, right? Because we don't want to enter it right away. We want to enter it as it comes back down. Because if it does come back down, it'll fill it and then it'll go straight to TP as it swings down, right? So just keep that in mind. That's why this is a sell stop order and not a market order. All right, so I sent that out to you guys right there. If it doesn't fill before we hit before it swings up to this area, then we're going to cancel it. But that's why it's a sell stop, because we're waiting for it to actually drop. So I'm not going to set any alerts for this yet. I'm just going to set an alert for filled so that I can follow it. It's 30 daily entry filled. Because if not, we're just going to cancel it. So these are some pretty crazy movements for the Dow. Let's see. The Dow is now positive. So it looks like the indices are bouncing around pretty heavy. Let's see if the other ones are still there as well. So S&P is still negative, NASDAQ's negative, Russell 2K is negative, VIX is negative. The only one that's positive is the Dow. I'm not sure if it's because of this Johnson & Johnson news here. I'm not sure if Target is part of the, I'm pretty sure they're not part of the US 30. Trying to see what news here is really, affecting the market. So it's pushing up right there. If that's the case, we're just going to cancel it if it doesn't fill. But I will, I'll check on it. So yeah, Kirsten wants me to check the 2-hour time frame for US 30. Hey Kirsten, you should be careful if you're trading on the 2-hour, because it's going to overlap into this market open here. So if you're trading on that higher time frame, I know you like to trade on the higher time frame, but you're taking a lot more risk by trading on these higher time frames here, because and I wouldn't take the trade here anyways, Kirsten, because look at how choppy it is. See how it's choppy right here? I wouldn't take any trades there. Like I wouldn't trade here. I wouldn't trade here. But there's a lot of areas here I wouldn't trade on the 2-hour. And if you're scalping, Kirsten, if you're scalping, you should be on the shorter time frames anyways. If you're trading on the 2-hour, you're already intraday trading at that point. It's not really scalping anymore because you're on the higher time frame and it moves around a lot more. But here, let me just check this out to see what you were looking at. So let's see. Because the snipe strategy is it's a scalp strategy. It's not meant to be used for intraday. I mean, technically you can use it, but especially if you're trading US 30 on the 2-hour, I've never seen anybody trade US 30 on the 2-hour or even the 4-hour or even the 1-hour really, because the movements are so high. In order to trade on these higher time frames, you need a bigger account, and your risk is just way too high for you to be trading on these higher time frames. But I mean, let me just look at it for anyways, just for you. But I would never recommend trading here on the 2-hour or anything higher. Because if you look at every candle here, unless you have a huge account, right? Unless you have a really big account, each candle moves at least 1,000, 2,000 pips. So if you can handle that much drawdown, that's a lot of drawdown for you to be handling, especially for an indice like this, like US 30. So I think you're looking at this one right here. I mean, there's technically a lot of entries that were available right here. And don't get me wrong, I'll show you that it does work. It's just you take on a lot of risk if you trade this on the higher time frame. Like there was an entry that was, so both of these green ones here are valid entries, and these two right here are valid entries as well. So if you were to take any of these right here, like for example, if you took this green one right here, like you'd have to go in a drawdown like at least 1,200 pips. I mean, of course you would hit TP eventually, but your drawdown is so massive. You could have just scalped like a bunch of times in between here rather than going for this really big move. But technically this would be an entry to Kirsten off the 2 hour here. Yeah, I'm not sure because you always show me the 2 hour time frame. I'm not sure like what gravitates you towards this time frame. I've never seen anyone trade on the 2 hour before. Unless you found something that works on here, then yeah, might as well trade on there. But it does work here. But like like I was mentioning, for example, right here, let's see. So like this for example, right? This is another entry right here. This would have hit TP. It's nice when it goes straight to TP. Like there it goes straight to TP, right? But if you're trading something like this right here, there's another entry that's off of this one, right? So the problem with this right here, if you're trading on the 2 hour and it goes into some drawdown, you have to eat a lot of drawdown before you end up, see like this right here, you go into drawdown like 2,000 pips. That's a lot of pips for you going into drawdown before it drops down to, possible TP right here, depending on what your target is. So I'm not sure like what your target would be for the 2 hour, but it looks like your stop loss could go as far as like 3,000 pips, if not 4,000 pips. And I don't know, maybe you have a huge account. Honestly, I don't know what your account looks like, but if you're looking at this here, this isn't something that I would go into drawdown for. Like, even though some of these do hit, like for example, this one right here probably hits TP, you go into some massive drawdown before you actually make it into profit. So for example, here, you go into drawdown at least 1,500 pips before it goes into profit. And it does go into profit. It's just like I would never be able to eat that drawdown if that be the case. So just keep that in mind, Kirsten, when you're looking at the 2 hour. I'm just surprised that you trade on the 2 hour because I've never seen anyone trade on anything higher than the 1 hour for US 30. But technically this would be a valid entry if you were taking this most recent one. So, all right, let me see what else we got here. Oh, okay, gotcha, Kirsten. So Kirsten said not actually trading on the 2 hour, only on 10-minute. Just wanted to confirm looking at this correct. Yeah, you're right, Kirsten, 100%. But yeah, I guess you can see my worries if you were trading on the 2 hour because the drawdown is super heavy. I mean, it does hit most of the time, but I don't think I'd go into like 3,000 pip drawdown to take like, one of these. I would definitely just go on the 10-minute or something shorter. But yeah, Kirsten, you did spot that trade pretty on point. So guys, looks like we're probably going to cancel this US 30 entry because it doesn't look like it's going to be dropping anytime soon. Not sure what, here, let me see what Kevin sent over here. Let's see what Kevin said. Let me see if I can read this.
Making this market move higher on the Dow, bro. That sell stop that you have positioned for your channel, bro. I would advise you to cancel it and start positioning for some buys, bro. This market's bullish. We also have the stimulus talks tomorrow that they're going to be releasing. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I got my channel and we're all in buys now.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, cool. So I just saw Kevin's right here. He said that well, I did see this right here, the Johnson vaccine. I did see this news right here, but I mean, we'll see how this plays out. I mean, it's still a sell stop. It's not going to fill until later, Kevin. So like, I'll hold on to it, but we're probably going to cancel, like I mentioned. I'm not sure if Kevin's here on the live stream, but I did mention that we were going to cancel. I'm not sure if you're like following along with this, but yeah, I mean, we'll hold on to it temporarily, and then we will see this in a little bit. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Yeah. Kevin said you should get a team. I mean, we are a team here, right? There's like 300 people here. Yeah, Kevin, but yeah, definitely. Let me see, because Kevin said you should get a team. I mean, we do have a team here. Let's see if there's anything else here real quick as we continue on. Let me check the sentiment real quick. Let's see, IG sentiment, 30. Let's see, Dow Jones. see what the sentiment's looking like. So there's 58% of people short right now for the DJ. We're going to close. Yeah, we're going to close it, Kevin. I mean, that's what we're waiting for. That's why it's a sell stop, because we're just waiting for it to, because it could drop. I mean, honestly, it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily go all the way up. It can necessarily drop at some point. Because if it's spiking around like this, there's going to be manipulation right here, right? And that's happened a lot of times where, you know, things would be pending and then all of a sudden it just flatlines. And then when you least expect it, it drops, right? I mean, it happens all the time. So that's kind of like what we're looking for here. But yeah, Kevin, you know, I did mention that we were going to cancel that if it doesn't end up hitting our entry before it hits the stop loss. Because there's no point in us really closing it. There's no need for us to close it. If price is way up here, it's never going to fill, right? Let me check this real quick. Yeah, no, definitely. All right, let me check this real quick to see what else we got going on over here. And then we will, you know, we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, guys, we're not, I mean, it's a pending sell stop. So we're not going to, it's not going to fill prices way up here. So I'm not too worried about it. I'll just cancel it if it doesn't, if it passes this area. If it passes the stop loss area, then that's where we'll cancel it and we'll start looking for some buys. But obviously, there's some huge spikes around for US 30. But guys, I don't recommend just hopping into a buy just yet. If we see a scalp, we'll enter that buy. But I'm not just going to enter and then hope that it goes up, right? Because what usually happens here is like when you enter a buy, it's going to come back down quite a bit. So I wouldn't enter the buy just yet, guys. If you guys are looking to enter this buy, we're going to look for some actual scalps before we actually take this trade, because it's just Kevin said, so you think it's not, I don't know, I never said that, Kevin. I don't know, like Kevin's like assuming these things. Kevin said, do you think it's not going to break a high today? I never said it's going to break a high. I just said that it's not going to, see this rejection right here? It could easily drop from this point. So you're in that buy right now. Hopefully it doesn't drop, because I want you to at least be in profit. But we'll see. I mean, you have to take the market as it is, Kevin. I mean, I'm not sure how you analyze the chart, but you've been in K2 for a while. Like, obviously, I know what I'm doing. So I'm just waiting. Like, if you enter a buy right here, this is a risky buy because price is going back and forth. So like, even if you're in a buy right here, this can easily swing back down. Like, these candles could just keep going back and forth. So like, by the time that you enter that buy, you can be stopped out at that point, because this is a big candle right here. It's like 1,000 pip candle, right? So, you know, for me, I don't take speculative trades. I trade off stuff that I see. So I'm not going to enter a buy here, but we'll see how it plays out. It can push for new highs. It's just not necessarily going to see, where's the high at? Let's see. Well, yeah, I don't think it's going to push a high today, Kevin. If you're trying to go for the high is way up here, bro. The high is, let's see how many pips. This high is like 5,000 pips. I don't think it's going to push 5,000 pips today. I mean, it could, maybe, but I don't think it's going to establish a brand new high today. That's a big move. So, I mean, we'll see how it plays, Kevin. I mean, your analysis is fine. You know, it could be bullish, but I don't think it's necessarily going to just skyrocket to the new high up here. That's like way too high. Unless you have an analysis, you want to send a chart or something, we can possibly look, but I don't necessarily see it pushing that high today, unless something happens. Like even right here, see how this big push happened right here? This could happen, but that's a really big push for it to happen from right here. But who knows? I mean, it might push up. We really don't know. But I'm not going to just take a buy just because I'm going to be looking for an actual entry before I, you know, hop into that right there. But we will see. Yeah, because we're looking for some new zones. Like Trell over here mentioned in the room, we're still looking for some zones right here for us to take another. There's another zone right there. There we go. And then we will see what Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yes, Kim, so you're in this live session right now. Yeah. That high is just way too high, but I don't think it's gonna push up 5,000 pips. Like that's just way too high for me to like. I mean, technically it could, but yeah, who really knows? And the Johnson Johnson news came out yesterday, actually. That's why this pushed up yesterday. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see how this ends up. Merrick is going to. So American Johnson Johnson went up quite a bit. Yes, this morning. I mean, let's see. President John announced that pharmaceutical Merrick will help Johnson Johnson vaccine. So yeah, this is the Johnson Johnson vaccine that you mentioned. So the only problem with the Johnson Johnson vaccine is that the effectiveness isn't that high. So I mean, yeah, if they work together, it'll definitely push it up. But I don't know if it's going to push it up that much. It's just one. It's like one stock in the entire index. But I don't know. We'll see. If we have a buy entry, then we'll take it. But I'm not going to enter a buy just to buy. You know, obviously we're going to wait for it, and then we'll see how this plays. Anyways, let me go back to the chat real quick and then see if there's anything else that I missed, because I think this is it for what we're looking at right now. Off the indices, I went down the list of indices already, and there really isn't much for us to take just yet. We're just waiting for an entry. So let me check the chat real quick, and then let's see. It's up, Samurai. Yeah, let me scroll down a little bit. Samurai said, watched the Delete stream last night. Interesting stream. I had a Google FTMO. Oh yeah, no, definitely Samurai. It's a funding company. It's something that I've been using for a while, so I definitely do recommend it if you plan on using a funding company. John said all US 30 is at a trend line established from all-time high. Let me see that real quick to see what John was mentioning. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so John drew his trend line from the alt. Or actually, I think it's a little higher. I don't know. It might be this right here, actually. It's a messy trend line, but yeah, if this is the case where this is the trend line, looks like it broke the trend line on, or it might be testing it still. So this would be the all-time high right here, and then it's just dropping from this point. Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna be looking for some scalps. I mean, we're not stuck on one position. We're not just stuck on sells or stuck on buys. If we see a buy, then we'll take a buy. If we see a sell, we'll take a sell. There's not like one thing that we're looking for here. So if this does, so like I mentioned, if this ends up going past this stop area over here, then we're going to cancel it. If not, we're just going to hold on to it, because this can easily drop at any point. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to keep pushing up, because I mean, what could happen here is, you know, they're releasing news here, like how Kevin mentioned the news about Johnson & Johnson, right? I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but a lot of stuff on CNBC is posted late. Like this Johnson & Johnson news, this was already around like yesterday. So this isn't brand new news that they're going to be helping. The thing with CNBC is they post a lot of news here, and it's made to manipulate the market. Because when people see this and they see it like an hour later, they've already missed that bullish move, right? Because this news already happened. And what happens is people see the news, they hop into the market for a buy, and then it comes crashing down. See, Kevin? See what I'm saying right here? This is why I tell you guys not to just enter a buy just because CNBC releases that news late, and it just causes hype in the market, right? People start to chase stuff because they're like, oh, Johnson & Johnson's coming out with this. Everyone enters a buy. As soon as you enter a buy, what happens? It comes crashing down. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys are looking at news, that's why I usually don't even look at news. The only time I look at news is if I see spikes in price, so that I can understand what's going on, right? And this is exactly what I mentioned. Like if you go back and rewind the stream, I was telling Kevin that this is probably going to come crashing down, and that he shouldn't enter that buy yet, because look what happened here. How much did it drop from this point? It dropped like 700 pips. So this is what I'm talking about being careful and actually like understanding what's going on in the market, because the CNBC news here is late. like if you just Google Merrick, this stuff was already released like yesterday. So this stuff was already known. It's just people who aren't following the news real time, they get this news late and then they hop into it too late. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. I mean, if we get a buy, so like for example here, it's coming down right here. If we get a scalp entry that happens somewhere over here, then we'll take that buy. But I'm not going to enter a buy just because I think it's going to go up, right? Because that's just too speculative. Look at this dump right here. This dump is coming heavy right now. Oh, no way. So Varun said that FTMO raised the challenge to 200K. That's crazy. I might have to do that one if that's the case. But yeah, guys, you know, let's yeah, Kevin said, yeah, it could be that, that's delusional, but I don't know. I don't think so. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see, Kevin, because Kevin said that he thought it was going to go up, and then he said, I don't think so. And I've seen as he said that it dropped. So, I mean, I know how the market moves, Kevin. So, like, you should probably like just like don't hop into stuff just because you think like you're following news and you're like, oh, Johnson, I need to buy, and as soon as you buy, it comes crashing down, right? Because if you entered a buy here, you probably got stopped out already, bro. Because this dropped at least 1,000 pips. Because you said you were buying up here, so it's already dropped nearly 800 pips, close to 1,000. So I'm not sure where your stop loss is. If you have a huge stop loss, and maybe you're going to be cool down here, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, I've been trading US30 every day for like the past year. So I've kind of understand like how it moves. Like I've traded it all throughout COVID. So I can kind of see like when stuff moves. And a lot of this news here is it's meant to influence like a lot of traders who don't follow the news real time. Because CNBC posts stuff like an hour, 2 hours late, sometimes a day late. It just, it just depends. But okay, so let me go over to the chat real quick and then we'll see what goes on from here. Let's see. Nice. Yeah, so Camel says, let's get this money, waiting, down 200, made 300 this morning though. Nice. All right, perfect. Varun said that FTMO increased their challenge. I'm kind of interested to see that now. Because if that's the case, their max might go up. Oh wow, yeah, they do have a 200K. Yeah, that's crazy. That's just expensive though. Actually, I mean, you might. I mean, yeah, I guess it's just two charges of the 100K. So 180. Yeah, that's heavy. That's such a big account. Oh, it looks like I'm doing the 200K. Maybe I should sorry, let me see if I could pull this up real quick. I'm like curious now if I should do the 200K. Because I guess I could increase my account size now then, right? I wonder what their max is. Let's see. I gotta ask them. That's crazy because if their max is 600K, now it's a huge account. That shit's huge. I'm like kind of excited after FTO. If they're like increasing the account size, it's gonna be freaking dope. Let's see. They don't have anything here. So yeah, I'll have to message them guys and I'll let you guys know, what the deal is for that. But that's crazy that they have a 200K account now. That's super high. I know a lot of people are starting to do the new funding talent, but if this is the case where it's 200K, I don't even need to do funding talent because I already have accounts with FTMO. But yeah, that's crazy. All right, so let me go over here real quick and check the charts again, and then we will see where everything's going. Yeah, so everything's spiking up around, right? So this is why I don't want to trade this because this is such a big spike. It's like 800 pips. So if you were doing a scalp, you probably would have gotten kicked out of the trade if you entered like a random scalp here, or if you were to just enter randomly. But like I mentioned earlier, guys, if this ends up swinging above here, then we're going to cancel it. If not, then we're just going to hold off. So let me just put an alert there. Let's see, US30. Yeah, because we're gonna hold off on it until it ends up coming, because you guys have seen sometimes, like if we have our daily entry here, sometimes they'll get really close to stop loss and then all of a sudden it comes crashing down like super heavy, right? So that's kind of like why we would be waiting for this. I don't want to cancel it right away. It's just Kevin said, no, bro, I'm not trading news. That was just part of it. I barely trade news. It's a lost cause. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, because I listened to your voice message, Kevin. You said it was because of Johnson & Johnson, right? So, I mean, we'll see, but we're not going to cancel until it hits stop loss, or I mean, until it hits that area, because it's still pending right now. It's really no risk to us unless it like really drops super heavy. Like if this happens where it drops and then it comes back up, then yeah, that'll be risky. But we're just going to hold off on it until it ends up closing at that point. But there's no entry right here, Jazz. I think you asked that real quick. Jazz said, is that a, no, it's not a valid buy scalp, Jazz, because there's no there's no rejection off the zone. It's just off the pivot, but not the zone. So until we get that rejection, then we're not really going to be, taking this trade just yet. But we'll hold off. I mean, we'll just see. We're not going to be acting off like emotion right now, because this is all emotional trading right here, right? Like the price is spiking around so much, so people are tempted to either enter a buy or either enter a sell. So that's why we're not going to enter these trades. We're going to wait for it to smoothen out. Once it smoothens out, then we can start looking for some more trades. Like for example, here, if this ends up pushing up, comes back down or retests, the structure and the pivot around this area, then we can take a buy there. Or then vice versa, price ends up coming down heavy. I mean, there's different scenarios. Price can come down heavy, come back up, come back down, and then we can take a sell this way. So, I mean, we'll just wait and see how this plays out. But, I mean, we'll see how it plays out from here. Because obviously price is it's getting pushed around pretty heavily on this. So let me go ahead and see what else we're doing over here real quick. Let me check the chat. Samurai said odd USD rejecting off 38.2, target 1, 2, 3, target 2. Nice. I'll check odd USD real quick too, Samurai. So let's just go to the Forex pairs right now, because the indices are bouncing around like way too much. So here's odd USD. I'm going to go and delete everything off the chart, and then I'll just analyze this from scratch so that you guys can see, what I do here when I analyze these charts. So here's odd USD. First thing I'm going to do is turn on the zones right here, and then we will draw these zones to identify where the rejection points are. So you guys can see here, it's super simple. If you guys have the, obviously the K2 indicators, that will help you identify the rejection points here. So we got that there, that right there. Check what Samurai was taking. I think he was taking a buy, right? Because it looks like we have a bullish momentum here. So once we have that set up, I'm just going to get the one higher zone so I can identify, where the next resistance is. All right, cool. So we got that up there. And then we'll go over to this 4-hour right here, turn off these zones, and then turn on the momentum indicator. Actually, we have a sell. Well, it's rejecting off this point. So this is what I'm looking at here, guys. So for odd USD, if we get a buy signal and it closes above the structure, then we're going to take a buy. Right? Obviously, we'll take a buy if that's the case. If not, and price ends up rejecting off this, then we'll take a sell. If it ends up closing, I mean, this could be around here actually. If it closes below this structure right here. So there's two different scenarios that can play out here for odd USD. However, we have a bearish bias right now because the most recent signal was a sell signal, right? So right here's the rejection. Here's the sell signal. And this is where it came down from. Right here is a rejection from the bottom. We're looking for that buy signal for it to close above here. And then once that happens, we can take that long position from here. So let me see what Samurai said. US3 rejecting off 388. Target 1. Yeah, I know, definitely, Samurai. Oh, you're shorting. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we have a bullish bias right here. I mean, a bearish bias because the most recent signal was a sell. If we get a buy signal though, that's where things will change up a little bit. So if we get a buy signal, then we'll be looking for a buy. And that's just kind of what I'm anticipating, right? If price doesn't break across the structure and we don't get a buy signal, then we're still going to be looking for that sell because this can drop right back down. And it looks like you drew your fibs from here, right? Let me see, fib retracement. Yeah, so it looks like you drew your fibs from here, and that's where you're talking about the 0 point or the 38.2. This is where you had that drawn, and you're identifying the retracement from that point, right? Which looks solid. I mean, it lines up with my zone right here. So this could, yeah, this could definitely probably drop from this point, Samurai. And it still lines up with my analysis here too, right? Because we do have the sell signal here, so we're still looking for a sell. However, like I mentioned, if we get a buy, then obviously that will change things. But we will be we'll be looking from that point. Nice. So Peter said we allow a maximum of 200K FTMO counts per trade, per trader, or per strategy at any given time. In other words, the maximum allocation per strategy, per trader or strategy is 400K. Nice. That's crazy, Peter. Thanks for asking them for that. So like when you mentioned that, that's kind of interests me too, because now that it says like per strategy, maybe I could have one 400K account just for scalping and one 400K account for my Forex trades. So that's actually good to know, Peter. I'm going to go and ask them about that as well, because if that's the case, then man, there's a lot of possibilities that are available at that point. So thanks for checking that out, Peter. I'll go ahead and check that myself as well, and then we will I'll let you guys know. Hey, what's up, Biko? How's it going? Morning. Hey, Vinicius, morning. Let me see if anyone else is here real quick. Let me see the other questions. But yeah, Samurai, I think that's definitely going to play out. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but see, look at this big drop here for US 30. It can easily come back down. That's why we didn't cancel it just yet. It's still pending, so not a big deal yet, but I mean, we'll see. Let me move this over a little bit. I'm gonna re-incorporate that. I mean, we'll see. Dang, Kevin, hopefully your thing isn't too bad, dude. Because Kevin took the buy here, and it's starting to come down pretty heavy. So I mean, we'll see how this ends up playing out. Yeah, Kevin, I'm not sure how yours is doing right now, but I know you entered the buy like up here at the top. Hopefully your account's not doing too. Your account's okay, unless like you got kicked out of the trade, unless you like close it out. But it is dropping back down. So we'll see. I mean, this might provide for a scalp right here, actually, guys. So if this ends up closing right here, then yeah, this would be a scalp entry. You could probably take that. But I mean, we'll see. We won't know until this ends up closing. Anyways, but I will keep watching. We have 3 minutes left on this candle. We'll see where this candle closes, and then we can determine, whether it'd be a good trade or not. And even if this does close like this, I'm probably not going to take it, honestly, guys, because it's just too risky right now. It's bouncing way too back and forth. The last thing I want to do is enter a buy here, and then it's going to come crashing down, right? So I'm probably going to hold off on entering this buy, even if it does close like that, because yeah, I mean, honestly, we're just gonna watch it, and then we'll see. So here, let's see real quick. Morning, Andre. Morning, Deswell. Kirsten said my phone put a buy on US 30, lost 10. Oh dang, why'd you put a buy in there, Kirsten? I guess you did that on accident, right? Yeah, because I haven't called any buys yet for US 30. Morning, Jonathan. Morning, Kimmy. Morning, Gwen. Let's see. Hey, billionaire mindset. What's a good lot size for US 30 with AK count? You should probably use a 0.01 per thousand. So you can probably use a 0.08 billionaire mindset. But anything less than that's fine too. You don't have to go for the full lot size. I mean, it just depends on how much you're looking to risk, right? You should probably use like a 0.05 first, or just go from a 0.01 and then, slowly move your way up. Samurai said, what's the minimum lot size for US 30? So it depends on the broker, Samurai. Some of them measure US 30 by standard lots. Some of them do it by mini lots if they have like the E-mini asset. So the minimum lot size will just depend on which broker. If you're using a standard lot size broker, then you obviously the minimum is like a standard lot. For other brokers, valuation is a little different. So it just depends on which one you're necessarily trading on. Morning, Manuel. Morning, Jay. Jay's asking, how much would you suggest to have in your account to trade US 30? Depends on your broker, like I mentioned earlier, Jay. So if your broker is an E-mini broker, then you can trade with like probably like 500. If your broker is a standard broker, then you should have at least 1,000, because then you're not going to be able to survive the margin if your account size is too small. That's the main thing. It's not really it's not necessarily like what you're risking. If you're only risking like X amount of money anyways, but it ends up balancing out depending on which type of broker you're using. And yeah, so Kel said 60% of people retail traders are short. Looks like a lot of people are shorting now. Damn, this thing's dropping heavy. Kevin, hopefully your account's doing all right, bro. Let's see where you're at. Yeah, because you bought from like way up here, dude. You're like in heavy drawdown now. So if you bought from up here, you're in drawdown over 1,000 pips already. And it's dropping heavy, dude. And this is why we don't take speculative trades, right? This is why we wait for the actual trade to appear. Because if you don't, this is what can happen. You can get burned pretty bad. But yeah, Kevin, hopefully you're doing all right. Game is 0.02. Damn, you're all right. So our US 30 just filled, guys. So if you guys are in that trade, looks cool. Damn, this thing's dumping heavy. Ended up hitting the wrong button here. Yeah, guys, let's see. So our daily entry is now filled, guys. It's now active. So let me just get this one over here real quick. Yeah, our daily sell entry here. So we didn't cancel it. Thankfully, it's still running. 31, 6, 1, 5. 1, 3, 5. See, and this is why we, guys, this is exactly why we stick to what we know, right? We stick to our strategy here, because if we canceled it, I mean, you would have missed this trade. And if you just hopped into a buy over here, you would have been into massive drawdown at this point. Yeah. So this is why we stick to our strategy, Kevin. I'm not bashing your strategy, like with your analysis at all, but this is why we stick to like what we know, because if you just hop into a buy because you think it's going to go up, I mean, the worst can happen right here where it starts dumping like this. But I mean, who knows? It could swing back up. It's just like we don't follow in any of this like noise here really, because a lot of people like will see this push up and then they'll jump into this buy because they think it's going to push up. However, it comes straight back down. So just I mean, hopefully your account's doing all right, because it doesn't look like you had a TP or stop loss. Looks like you're just holding on to it. Kevin said, "Oh fuck it, you got me." Yeah, guys. I mean, so this is why we do what we do here, because we know, or like we follow like a strategy here. We're not just hopping into these buys just because. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this ends up, playing out. But our sell is now active, if you guys are in that trade. So we will let it play out. But anyways, let me go back to the chat real quick. So if you guys took the daily entry, the daily entry is now active. We're now looking for some scalps here for a sell. Matt said, Shawn, that was magical. You analyzed great, bro. Guys, let's hit the like button. Yeah, guys. So like, just follow the strategy that I teach you guys, right? Don't like veer off, because if you just follow what I'm teaching you guys will be able to analyze this and you won't get caught in any of this noise here. Because I'm sure a lot of people thought that it was going to be a buy, but then it ended up doing the complete opposite. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's all right, Kevin. Like, as long as you learn from your mistake, I mean, it's fine. Just remember not to just hop into like random trades like that unless you're like 100% sure. Because here we go with this. Let me set these alerts here real quick, guys, and then we should be good. So let me just fix this real quick. So let me just set these alerts real quick for our trade here so that we can follow this. But yeah, guys, like I was mentioning, there's no wrong way to analyze this. I mean, if you have a good analysis or you have something to explain like what you're seeing, then yeah, it's fine to take those trades. I mean, just make sure you have analysis like set up properly just to identify things. So let's see, Samurai said, yeah, Elliott wave, shape harmonics, Dow theory, tons of patterns. How can I give them that as a strategy? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look at when you're looking at the Dow. And then Samurai said, I'm waffling, Shawn. It's one of them days. It really is, right? Price is just bouncing around like crazy right now. Now Samurai said that short looks good now, Shawn, on the US 30. Nice one. Looks like they stop hunted any tight stops. Should drop hard now. Yeah, that's kind of what I see happening right here, right? If I see another scalp, I'll hop into another trade. But I do see it dropping, pretty nicely off this point. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep watching it and we'll see. But if you guys are in the sell that I called earlier, it's now technically in profit and it's active. So we'll wait and see how this plays out. I have my alert set up right here. Let me see if there's anything else here to look at before I continue on. Hey, what's up, Smokes? Morning. Yeah, Camel, there's more sellers right now for US 30, but it's not a lot. It's only 60%. It was like 58%, and then now people hopped into the sell. So this is actually kind of risky, guys, because now that people are hopping into a sell, it's going to affect how the market is moving now, because if there's too many sellers, you're going to push price back up to stop people out. So just keep that in mind if you guys are in this trade or if you guys are thinking about entering the trade. It is becoming a bit risky because sentiment's starting to move towards the short side. We usually don't like to trade where the majority of people are because it's just too risky. But anyways, let me check this real quick. Samurai said, Shawn, what about the wick on 8K? Wait, Shawn, what about that wick to 8K on Bitcoin last week? Heads need to roll for that. Can you imagine how many leveraged accounts got blown? You could end up owing the broker thousands if the stops got jumped. Exactly. That's what I was thinking too, right? That's why I never trade off margin, guys. Like a lot of people like to trade off margin, but I never recommend you guys trade off margin, especially if you guys aren't like 100% sure with your trades, obviously. So let me go to Bitcoin real quick and we'll take a look. So Bitcoin over here on the 4-hour, zoom out from this point. And so Bitcoin has dropped quite a bit. I should have sold off my freaking Bitcoin, but I mean, it's not that bad. So like basically guys, if you guys have been following how I trade Bitcoin, I just buy the dips, right? So I draw my K2SR zones. Whenever price dips down, I buy some more. So like right here, I mean, I didn't buy any right now, but I probably should have when it came down to here. I just haven't been following it, honestly. I've been too busy with US 30 with my scalp. So I haven't really been looking at Bitcoin. I usually look at least once a day just to see like where it's moving. But I'll show you guys what I normally do here for Bitcoin when I trade it. So I turn this off real quick. And then I'll draw these lower zones. So the way I trade Bitcoin is like really, really simple, guys. It's just, I just buy the dips. because I see it coming up. Like I don't see it coming down that heavy. But like for me, basically when price comes up, like for example here, this is where I bought my, I rebought into Bitcoin. So I sold off all my Bitcoin when it got to this high. And then when it dropped to this point again, because it came back and then tested this support, when this happens, I buy some more. Comes up, comes down, I buy some more. Comes up, comes down, I buy some more. And then over here, I mean, I haven't been looking at it since it came up here because I already made a lot of profit off here. I think I doubled my Bitcoin wallet once it got to here because I bought from way down here. So anyways, as it comes down here, as it drops again, I would buy some more here, but I haven't bought any yet. So this would actually be a nice buying area for Bitcoin because this is probably going to bounce from this point up higher. So I might make another deposit for Bitcoin. And I just, for me, basically, I buy and hold. I don't necessarily day trade it. I just buy and hold it. But yeah, like what Samurai's mentioning was a big spike right here, right? Huge spike right here. Like, let's see. This spike dropped about 5,000. That's a lot. So $5,000 from this point. So yeah, like Samurai's mentioning, you know, if you were leveraging this account, you probably would have lost a lot of money off this. Because I've seen some people that they do margin counts and they leverage like crazy amounts off of Bitcoin, and it's just too risky. The reason why I find it risky is because it's too speculative, right? You never know when it's going to bounce or if it's going to respect like these technicals, because it usually doesn't really respect the technicals. It'll go like right below it, it'll come back down, but it doesn't necessarily reject off it perfectly. So just keep that in mind for Bitcoin here. So let's go back to US 30. It's about to hit our TP right there. Boom, TP guys. TP. Let me get those things ready for you guys over here. We just hit the TP off US 30 right there. So Kevin, hopefully your account's doing good, bro, because I didn't see you set a stop loss there. Maybe, I mean, hopefully you just closed out of your position because we got that TP right there. All right, so let me give you guys that update for US 30, currently in profit on my own account as well. All right, so if you guys took my trade there for US 30, we just hit TP off that. And you know, this is what I mean about it being patient. Nice. So Steven over here just sent over his profits. Nice work, bro. He locked in about 202 for his one trade, and he took the second one, 239. So looks good, guys. Looks good. Let me see David over here. See, David took those sells too. See, this is why you guys don't chase that hype, guys. If you guys see that hype move up, you got burned. This is why we stick to what we know here, right? So nice work, damn. Nice. There's David at over here. Snow day. Oh, he's in his car. David over here running out of work right now to check his profits real quick. He took sells right here off US 30. He took the sells that I was mentioning. So looks good for the most part. Yeah, you know, I'm tempted to just close this. I mean, we'll see. I'm not that far from full TP, so it's not necessarily what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move my stop loss and profit. So let's see. Price is 3,1,400. There we go. Stop loss and profit. I moved my stop loss and profit to here, guys. So I'm running this trade risk free now. There we go. All right, so I got kicked out in profit, guys. I locked in about like, let me see how much, 500 off that, I believe. Yeah. So I locked out. I got kicked out of this trade, guys. I'm out in profit. So if you guys are still in it, I mean, it'll probably keep pushing, but I'm currently out already. So it looks good. I'm gonna try to delete this because we don't have a stop loss anymore. All right, guys. So I'm out in profit. Hopefully you guys got in profit too, or you guys are like running it. Nice, Jasmine over here. This is Jay Bay in the YouTube chat. Locked in 105. Congrats. Nice work. Nice work. Steven said, I'm definitely going to renew my subscription again. Yeah, no, definitely, Steven. I'm glad to see you profiting, bro, because I know you had some issues in the beginning. But you know, after we've cleared up all those issues, I mean, you've been hitting profit every day now. So nice work to everybody in K2 who's been profiting with us. you know, I mean, there's there's really no there's nothing stopping us here, guys. Like, we're doing pretty good for this whole year, actually. And now we're looking for these scalps. So guys, now that we're chilling right here, I mean, we're waiting for some scalps, waiting for this to possibly come back up and then drop some more right there. Because if you guys followed our scalps yesterday, I mean, those are some nice scalps last night. I don't know if you guys saw my profits from last night, but I locked in some pretty solid profit scalping you. Because what happened was we were waiting for this full TP for US 30 to hit, right? So we were waiting all day for this to drop. So what I was doing is I was scalping within this move. So like I was scalping over here and I locked in, I think last night, when I accounts 3,600 and then my other account 3,374. So we locked in some pretty solid scalps last night. If you guys are in the premium, I called all those scalps as well. Like they were all being called and stuff. So yeah, I mean, looks like it looks fine so far. We're just gonna wait for it to possibly swing up. If it swings up, then we'll catch some scalps as it rejects off the pivot and swings back down over here. But otherwise, I'll be looking for some other scalps as well as we as we continue on. So nice. Camo said back up 548 on my FTMO. Nice. Congrats, Camo. The bounce back will happen. You guys just got to be patient. A lot of people get too impatient with their FTMOs and they want to pass right away. And you guys got to remember that your main goal is to pass. It's not passing fast. It's just passing, right? Because once you're passed, that's all that really matters. Once you're funded, you're just chilling for the most part. Nothing too crazy off that point. All right, let me just go up the chat real quick. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed, because I do see a lot of messages up here. So guys, if you guys just send a message in the chat, I'm gonna have to scroll up and see what else we're missing over here as we continue on. Let's see. So let me see what I'm missing down here. Sorry, time. Samurai said, is there a monthly target or time scale to make 10% with FTMO? Samurai said, it's a fair challenge. 10% gain, 10% drawdown should be a walk in the park. I will use 0. Yeah, exactly. I only use like 1%, Samurai. I don't use that much of risk on mine. And City's asking, let me just check the DAX real quick, because City's asking about the DAX. Sorry, City, I think I missed your question earlier. So it's actually a sell right here, City, for the DAX. Damn, I'm too late. So the entry was right here and we missed it. So this was actually a sell here. City, I'm not sure if you caught the sell like 10 minutes ago. I wasn't watching it. So it's technically active right now, but I'm not going to enter it because it's kind of late. And the issue with this is if this candle right here closes where it has a rejection off both the top and the bottom, it's going to be a risky trade because it can technically bounce off this. So it can be both. It can be a buy and a sell depending on where this closes. City, and I would just hold off on it. I wouldn't trade it just yet. Let's go back to US 30 real quick. Let me see if there's any scalps here. Yeah, no scalps there just yet. But yeah, look at the DAX here. This is a risky trade right here, City. I wouldn't take this trade because it's like I mentioned, if it has an entry for the top and the bottom, then I wouldn't take it. I just skip it. Nice. Kelsey, I've been holding my buys since before market open. So many people entering sells right now and getting taken out, right? Yeah, Samurai said it's a clever business model. Most will lose their entry fees. The ones that make it through will probably be put in a broker's B book and get hedged. Yeah, no, definitely, Samurai. I mean, for the most part, I mean, their broker is LMAX, so they use an institutional broker, which has been pretty good to me. I haven't had any issues with them in like almost a year now. So, I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, majority of people won't pass FTMO because a lot of people just get greedy and they don't know how to handle a bigger account. But for me, as long as you stay consistent, like for us, we just scalp. So if you stay consistent and you just scalp, like whenever you have opportunities, it's actually really easy to pass FTMO and stay funded. The real issue is if you're an intraday trader or a swing trader, because you can't hold trades into the weekend. So it's a little risky depending on your trading style. I'm gonna skip some of these because I think some of you guys were talking before everything moved earlier. Charles said, why potential buy, not a sell? So it's all right, I'm gonna skip you some of these questions here. Charles, I think your question was before it dropped for US 30. So I'm just gonna keep scrolling down a little more. But I'm out of that US 30 trade. So if you guys are still in the US 30 trade, looks like it's bouncing back and forth, like I mentioned. It's just bouncing a lot, guys. So that's why I closed out when I moved my stop loss and profit over here. I didn't really make that much profit off that. I made 500 bucks because I took a smaller lot size. It was just a risky trade, so I took a 1 lot instead of 5. But I mean, it's still profit, right? I'm not really complaining about making 400 or 500 off this trade. So if you guys are still in this trade, I would probably move your stop loss and profit. If you guys haven't, if you guys are following the exit strategy, stop loss should have been moved to TP1 a long time ago. And I wouldn't risk it right here because this is bouncing back and forth like pretty crazy right now. You don't want to get caught in any reversal. So let me see if there's anything else here real quick. Samurai said, I might have a problem with FCMO. I can't give him a strategy. I read price action on zones. You don't necessarily have to give them a strategy, Samurai. You can just trade however you like, and they track your your type of trades, and then they can kind of decipher what type of trading you're doing. Like if you're scalping, intraday, swing, you can do all three if you want. It's just it's just as long as you stay within the parameters. Let's see if there's anything else here. Gwen's asking, are we still holding off on US 30? So sorry, Gwen, I think I got your question late, but we already we already hit CP1 off US 30, and I'm out of the trade already. So let me see if I can show you guys my profit here. I didn't really make that much profit off it. I made like a decent amount of profit off it. So I only made like 419 off it. I thought it was more, but with the fees. So you can see right here, this is my profit off that trade US 30 about like 30 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, actually. I only locked in 419. I thought it was more, but I think because of the fees and stuff, it knocked down a bit. But I made 419 off that trade. I got out around TP1, a little bit above it. I did move my stop loss and profit. But yeah, it is a risky trade right now, guys. So I wouldn't necessarily hold on to this. I would have moved your stop loss and profit a long time ago. So let me go back over here real quick and see if there's anything else that we're missing. Tony said, look for brokers with negative balance protection. Oh yeah, no, definitely, Tony. That's probably a good thing. Or use a regulated broker. If you're using a regulated broker, they they'll protect your position. Let's see, Samurai. Oh, let's see. So Samurai was mentioning that there was a big drop. Let me see. Yeah. To 40K. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it here on mine, Samurai. It might just be on your broker. I'm not sure which broker data you're using, but here on BIFNEX, it's one of the more reliable ones, I don't see it dropping that low to 40K right here. Yeah, I don't know. Might just be a glitch for like broker side data, which happens sometimes. It's not unusual for that to necessarily happen. All right, looking at the DAX right here. Yeah, I would not mess with the DAX right now, guys. The DAX is providing for entries in both directions. It's just that it's way too risky right now because there was a sell right here, and then there's a buy right here. So guys, looks like we might take it easy on the scalps today because there's conflicting entries here, right? When this happens where there's a buy and a sell back to back, this can literally spike up or it can spike down, or it can just consolidate before it spikes up or spikes down. So we're gonna hold off on these scalps for a bit, maybe for like an hour or two, until the market starts to choose a direction, because it's starting to get choppy now. And as it gets choppy, it just gets riskier and riskier as we follow it. So we'll just keep watching it, but I'm not going to take any trades just yet. So if you guys have any questions or you guys want me to analyze anything, just put them in the chat and then I can take a look. So yeah, morning, Patricia, just saw your message. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, this is probably the best time because we're going to be waiting for the market to actually start to move smoothly. And then once it does move smoothly, we can start taking more trades. But I think for now, we're probably going to hold off on taking any more scalps and stuff because the market is just indecisive, especially here for the DAX. Let me go over to US 30 real quick. And you can see here, even for US 30, it's bouncing around like heavily. So we'll see how this ends up closing out. If this ends up for a sell scalp, then maybe I'll hop into a small scalp, but nothing too crazy. We got about 6 minutes left on this candle, so we'll see how this closes out. But this would be the next entry if you were to, obviously take a scalp here. We want this to close as a red candle though, so just keep that in mind. All right, so let me check real quick. All right, so Joseph's asking for Aussie 200. Let me pull that up for you real quick, Joseph. So let's see, Aussie 200 right here. You're asking if it's a sell scalp. So not yet, Joseph. Let me check the zones real quick. Okay, so not yet, Joseph. In order for there to be a scalp here, there would need to be a rejection off the pivot in the structure. So if this candle right here closes red, because it would need to reject off this green pivot and the structure right here. If it closes red, like down this area, like well below the zone actually, if it just closes red, then we could probably take a sell. But I think for now, there's just no sell scalp entry that's available just yet. Doesn't look like there's been one since here. So this is, if you look through here, we just go backwards. There's no entries from this area at all. The most recent entry would be this green candle right here. So this would be what we're looking for. We're looking for a rejection off the K2 pivot, this orange pivot right here, and a rejection off the K2 structure, which would be this right here. So with that said, we enter a short position right here, and that would have hit full TP, right? So that's basically what we're looking for here as well, Joe. We're just waiting for it to qualify like this right here. So this setup right here, we want that to set up right here, but it hasn't happened yet. So there's no sell entry at this time. So just just keep that in mind for that point. Let me scroll up real quick and let me see if there's anything else here before we continue on. Yeah, definitely. So Samurai said, nice, I should hit full TP. Funky just locked in 150. Nice, Funky, congrats. Camo back to 548 on his FTMO. Congrats with that as well. Radomir said US 30 is also a scalp of that wick red candle after the sell signal flare. Let me check real quick, Radomir. Let's go back to US 30 real quick. I'm trying to see where that. So I don't see a sell yet, Radomir. Like we would need a rejection off the pivot in the structure. I don't see any rejections off it just here just yet. So like, I'm just gonna go back right here and show you. So like for this candle, there's no rejection off the pivot. There's a rejection off the pivot here, but not off the structure. So this wouldn't be a sell or a buy either. The most recent one would be this one over here actually. So this would be the most recent buy because it rejects off the pivot and the structure. So if you were to take that trade, looks like that would have hit full TP right there. But other than that, Radomir, I don't really see anything else here. I'm not sure if you guys see anything that I don't see, but I'm going down by each candle. There's just no entries that are available just yet. If anything, this might be an entry right here if this ends up closing. But like I mentioned, when price is choppy like this right here in the pivots, I'm not going to take any trades at this point. I'm just going to hold off and then wait for it to smoothen out before we take some trades here. So I'm probably not going to take anything yet, Radomir. I'm going to hold off maybe an hour or so or 30 minutes, just depending on where price is going to go. Because now it's just choppy, right? It's just going sideways from this point. What I want to happen here is I want this to possibly reject off the point and then come crashing back down to hit our full TP down here for our daily entry if you guys are still in it. But I think at this point in time, there's just no entries that are available for US 30. So let me check real quick if there's anything else here. Vinicius said, why did you draw the lower zone around 31.390 and not past 15 candles? Let me see what you mean by that. 31.390. Sorry, Vinicius, which pair are you referring to? I mean, you might be talking about the DAX, right? Or no, let's see. Sorry, Vinicius, I'm kind of confused which one you're talking about. So Vinicius said 15 candles before 31.390. I'm trying to figure out where that price is. 31.390. I don't see any assets here that are priced around that area. So Vinicius, if you could just confirm, I can look it up. I just don't see I don't see which asset is priced around that area. Let's see, 31.390. Yeah, I'm just looking down the list here because I was only looking at these indexes. And the last one I looked at was Aussie. So if you guys ever ask a question, just make sure to put the asset in the chat. Like when you're saying like check this certain price, make sure to put like the asset. Like if you're talking about Aussie 200, just put like Aussie 200 and then the price. Because I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Vinicius. If you could confirm, I can look at it, but I just don't see anything here at that price point that you just mentioned. 30. Let's see. 30. I'm assuming you're talking about US 30, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're talking about this because I see the dot. So I think, okay, I think that dot's supposed to be a comma. So 31.390. So looking at this here, you said, why did you draw the lower zone around 31.390, not past 15, not in the past 15 candles? So the reason why we have that zone right there, Vinicius, is because that's where the zones are, right? So if I take this off, see where these zones are on the screen? That's where we drew our zones, because that's why we have it down here, because there's a zone right there. And then same right here. Yeah, Vinicius. So this is why we draw our zones here, because the zones are plotted by the K2SR indicator. So you can see that the zones are here on the chart. And that's where we drew our zones. So that's the reason why the zones are in that specific area, because of that price point there. So this zone is not here anymore. Let me take this off. Not sure if you see that, Vinicius. But yeah, you can see right here. So if I take this off, the zones are on the screen. Okay. Yeah, no problem, Vinicius. Yeah, I was just a little confused when I saw your period. But yeah, Vinicius, the reason why we drew the zone here is because there's a K2SR zone at this area. That's the main reason why we drew at that point. It wasn't because of anything else. All right. Anyway, so let me go back to the chat and see what else I missed. I'm trying to zoom through these real quick just to make sure I don't miss anything. Here, let's see. Truth is asking, you guys trade gold ever? I know this is for indices, but just wondering. I personally don't trade gold, but I do analyze gold like almost every day because someone asks about it. So I could analyze gold for you real quick. Let me just check this. Yeah, I'm getting a ton of messages here, guys. So if you guys are messaging me on Telegram, I'm probably not going to be able to get to you guys just yet. But I'm getting a ton of messages here. See, Henry sent me some profits, I think, right? Nice. Henry said it's another one. So Henry locked in 1,318 and then 22. So about 1,400 off his one account here. And then he has another account right here where he locked in, or it's the same account, I think. He just made a little more. Oh, nice. Okay, so he has two accounts. So for one account here, he locked in 1,400. For his second account, he locked in another 1,400. So congrats, Henry, for locking those profits off my US 30 call right here. Glad to see everyone killing it. Billy over here as well. Nice. So like, check this out, guys. These are K2 members that are just applying the strategies or copying the trades that I'm calling here on the live. So Billy here locked in 1,147 on one trade and then 1,647 on the other trade. So he's a total of 3,000 in profit right now, almost. So nice work off that, Billy. Everyone's killing it, guys. Steven over here as well. He locked in about 500 off that. Who else here? See if anyone else locked in some profit. Nice. Dennis is looking for that drop right there. Tam over here. Nice work, Tam. You're probably on vacation right now, huh? Tam is always on vacation. She's always like in Cabo over here making these profits. But nice work, guys. So I saved everyone's profits here. If you guys have any profits that you guys want me to share in the public group, just send them over to me. These are the profits for this week. So Tam over here with about 300. Billy over here about 3,000 nearly. Henry over here about 2,000 on his one account. 2,000 on the other account, or no, 1,400, sorry. 2,000 total. Jasmine over here with 105. Steven over here about 500 for today. The other Steven over here for about 50 bucks. He took a smaller account, but for actually 100. So he locked in some nice profit off that as well. Jonathan over here with about almost 1,000 for the today. 899, nice work. Eric over here, about 200, 500 minus 100. So about 400 or 500 in profit for Eric today. Trello over here, 672. Quinn over here, locked in 425. So nice work to everybody here, guys. Everyone's killing it this morning and last night as well. These are all the profits from this week, from March 1st up until today. And there's a lot of profits here, guys. Like if you guys can see here, the timestamp. So this week started March 1st. These are all the profits from this week. So everyone's locking in some massive profits here, just copying the trades that I'm calling on this live session. And hopefully, the new members here are also locking in some profits as well, because these are all free. I'm not even charging you guys to sit in on this session. I'm literally just giving you guys all my trades for free. Just, if you guys are able to sit in here and follow these. But this would be another scalp right here. I'm not sure if anyone took it, but it looks like you might have hit TP already. I didn't take it because I mentioned it's a little risky, but if you did take that, full TP already. Rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure, full TP off this US 30. So that looks good. I'm tempted to hop back in and keep pushing it. Nice. Kirsten over here locking some profit too, little by little, but Kirsten, profit. So don't just make sure that you're in the blue. The main goal is for you to end up in the blue every single day, right? If you keep adding those profits and they keep stacking up, your account's going to keep growing. Just make sure you end up in profit almost every day, and they'll just keep compounding over and over again. So nice work, everybody. Let me see if there's anything else here real quick. As you know, I continue. So let's see so for truth, I'll look at gold for you real quick because you're asking about gold. So, I mean, I can analyze anything. If there's anything you guys want me to analyze, I can analyze any asset for you, because the way that I analyze things, it works for everything, guys. It's not just for Forex. It's not just for indices. And I mean, this isn't even an indices room. Truth, I'm not sure where you got that idea from, but we trade everything here. We trade Forex and we trade indices. But most of the time when we scalp indices, obviously, because it moves a lot faster than Forex pairs. The Forex pairs we trade intraday for the 4-hour time frame. But for everything else, we trade anything really. So here are the zones for gold real quick. The reason why I draw these zones so we can identify the rejection points, because obviously you don't want to trade once you get close to a rejection point, because you might end up in a reversal. So we have no lower zone here. So in order for me to get that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the higher time frame, like the 8-hour. There is nothing there. The daily, nothing there. The weekly, and there we go. All right. So there we go with that. I'm gonna go back on the 4-hour right here. I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. So if you guys were following my analysis for gold, I've been analyzing this for like weeks now. Like literally every day someone asks about gold, because this is like everyone's favorite pair, right? And if you guys followed my analysis that I went over, wait, you're USD. Oh, we already hit CP on that. That's why. Okay, I was like curious, like what happened. Let me check our Euro USD real quick. I'm pretty sure we hit CP off that, right? I think I forgot to turn off the alert. Oh yeah, so our most recent Euro USD post was right here for TP2. So we did hit TP already. So I think we just forgot to delete that alert. All right, anyway, so back to gold over here. If you guys followed my analysis for gold, I mentioned that this was going to drop, and it did exactly that. So right here, we have the drop start from this point. Or actually, we can start from like way up here if we really wanted to. Like here, I'll show you guys what my analysis for gold, right? So basically, we analyze the high right here. It's followed by a sell signal right here. And when that happens, it pushes down to the next structure right there, right? So once it pushes down to the next structure, we wait for it to continue. So right here, obviously consolidated for a long time. And then from this point, we identify the rejection from this point, another sell signal right here. And then we waited for it to break and close past structure. So rejection, sell signal, break and close past structure right here. And then when that happens, what happens? It pushes down to the next structure. And then it breaks and closes past this structure right here. What happens from that point? Pushes down to the next structure, right? And it's the same thing. Like for here, we have sells, but when it rejects in the other direction, you can take buys as well. Rejection, buy signal, break and close past structure above here, push ups the other way. But going back to where we were looking at here, so the same pattern just keeps bouncing back and forth, right? We have the rejection, we have the sell signal, it pushes down. We have the rejection, we have the buy signal, it pushes up. Again, right here, we have the sell signal, rejection off this structure, sell signal right here, it broke and closed past the structure. With that said, it pushes down to this structure right here, right? Once it breaks and closes past the structure again right there, pushes down to the next one right here, right? Again, from this point, once it broke and closed past the structure, what did it do? It ended up pushing down here. So obviously here for gold, we have a sell bias. Reason for that's because the most recent signal was a sell signal right here, right? Until we get a buy signal, we're still going to be looking for some sells. Looks like price kind of retraced up a little bit, which is normal. But it looks like it's going to keep dropping down from this point here. So just looking at gold from this point, you know, we have a sell bias here, and the next line of support is way down here. It's got a long way to go, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to just drop, right? It's going to go back and forth. We're probably going to see a lot of retracement, but eventually it should continue dropping farther and farther down. So it's going to push up a little bit, probably drop again slightly from this point, and then possibly retrace up again, and then drop down slightly, maybe consolidate a bit. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen here because this is a long drop. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to drop right away, but if you guys followed my analysis from yesterday, you know, if we go back in data, so let me go ahead and show you guys the last time it dropped, which I think was in 2008, right? Because I remember this because we just analyzed this yesterday. So if I go back on the, let me zoom out from this point. Let's go to the daily actually. Or actually, it's not going to show on the daily. We got to show on the 4-hour. So for right here, this is February 2000 or March 2021, right? If we go back to 2008, the last time that it broke structure down there, which is, I mean, it's a long one. Okay, actually, we can go on the daily, on the daily. It's just hard to see on the 4-hour. So like, guys, like I mentioned here, so you can see from this point where price broke structure, the last time it broke structure was back in 2012, actually, not 2008, 2012. So the last time that that happened over here, and I turn on the momentum indicator, you guys can see what I mean by this dropping, right? So we have the rejection from here. We have the sell signal right here. We have price break and close past structure right here. The same pattern, right? Rejection, sell signal, break and close past structure. And like I mentioned, it's not a smooth move down. It's a choppy move down, but it does eventually move down, right? So like I was drawing over here, I mentioned that, you know, price will come down. It'll retrace. It'll come back down. It'll consolidate a little bit until it drops all the way down to the next structure right here, right? So it's the same thing that I analyzed for right now and go on the 4-hour and go back to where we currently are. And that's exactly what I drew right here, right? I drew that it's probably gonna go up, go down, go sideways until it ends up coming down to this support here. So we have a sell bias here up until it closes back above this structure. So this could possibly drop. The only way that I would change my bias is if price ends up closing above here. If it closes above here, then it's probably going to swing back up. But until then, my bias is going to be for a sell here for euro for gold. So that's pretty much what I see happening here as we continue on. Marcus is asking, hey Shawn, what do you use for your EMA numbers? We don't use the EMA here. We use the pivots. This is a separate indicator, the K² pivots. It's not an EMA indicator. So, all right, so that's it for gold right there. Let me see if there's anything else as you know we continue on. All right. Yeah, exactly what Trell mentioned there. So Trell said no one ever went broke taking profits, small or large. And that's why we take scalps and, you know, why we're pretty on point with our scalps, guys, because our win rate for our scalps are super high, right? If you just keep winning trades, I mean, it's impossible for you guys to go into the negative, right? You're just going to keep bouncing back every single time. Or you're just going to keep adding those profits from, you know, those scalps every so often, because we usually take like a standard lot or a 1 lot, which would be similar to like other pairs. And for that, we usually lock in about like $500 per trade. You know, like for example, my trade here for my FTMO, I locked in about $400 because I closed out early. Well, I didn't close out early, but I moved my stop loss above TP1. So that's why I locked in $400. But generally, we're locking in like about $500 per trade, which is not bad. You know, that thing adds up over time. So, all right, let me go back to the chat real quick, see if I'm missing anything as we continue on. So we looked at gold. Kirsten's asking 2 US 30 buy signals on the 1 hour time frame. So let me check that real quick for you. Kirsten. So, all right, let me just close this real quick. But yeah, these are the same charts. I don't know if I have these two here, so let me just delete this one. All right, anyway, so let me go back to US 30. Kirsten was asking about US 30 on the 1 hour. So let me delete everything off the chart. Go on the 1 hour, turn on the pivots, or actually I don't need the pivots yet, the structures. So let me just draw these structures real quick so that we could identify where these are. Let's connect these two. Connect these right here. That one. And we're just waiting for some scalps, guys. Like I'm literally just waiting. I'm not hopping into anything without there being a valid entry. So looking at this here, once I take this off, let's see. So Kirsten set a buy entry off the 1 hour. So this technically would have been a buy entry right here. But like I mentioned, Kirsten, we don't trade this off the higher time frame. So it does get a little choppy. The problem with this is that your stop loss can be super high. So like, for example, right here, well, for one, I wouldn't take this trade because it's choppy. If I take off the, you can see that the pivots are kind of too close right here and they're crossing over. So I personally wouldn't even trade around this whole area right here. And the same with this area right here. Like I wouldn't trade there. I would take some buys around this area. You know, obviously as price goes down around this area, so I wouldn't trade right here. I would trade down here. I would trade above here and above here, but I wouldn't trade where price gets choppier over here. So just looking at current price right here, yeah, technically this would be a buy right here, Kirsten, but you know, I wouldn't take it just because of the choppiness of these candles. So you don't want to enter trades when it's too choppy because you're going to get caught in a lot of whipsaws. So like, for example, here, you know, if you were to take any of these trades here, it would just be too risky because you'd have a buy here, you'd have a sell right next to it, and then another buy here. So if they keep crossing over, you're going to have a bunch of jumbled entries in both directions. So like, for example, right here for this would technically be a buy, but your stop loss would have to be pretty wide, like maybe like 2,000 pips, right? Because you're trading on the 1 hour. Like just use this for an example. We're trading on the 10-minute, right? And we're going for 500 pips. If you're trading on the 1 hour, you have to multiply that by like, you know, what, like 10. So you'd have to go for like 5,000 pips. And that's just way too far of a move. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily trade this on the higher time frame, Kirsten. But yeah, if you were to take this trade, I mean, your stop loss TP would be very, very high. So it's not something that I recommend. But I mean, if you wanted to, this would be your setup right there. So you'd have a big, big range for you to take this trade. Here, let's see. For example, right here, if you were to take like this one right here, right? Because we have a rejection off the pivot and structure. If you were to take this trade right here, your range would be so wide. I mean, you would hit TP, but you would have to have like a big, big move for you to take this right here. Because we're doing 50 pips on the 10 minutes. So if you go on the 1 hour, that's a huge, huge difference. You basically multiply by 10, even though it would hit here. That's a long time to hold a trade. You know, you're going to hold this trade for 19 hours. I mean, it would hit, but yeah, you know, it's just going to be a huge, huge risk for you to take. So this could technically drop down, hit the daily entry full TP before it ends up swinging up here. But yeah, Kirsten, this would be a valid buy here if you were to take that. However, I don't recommend it. It's just too big of a risk. All right, so yeah, everything is kind of choppy right now. So guys, I'm gonna have to step away for like a few seconds real quick. I just need to grab this call, but I will leave my charts up right here so you guys can keep watching. And then we will continue on. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes, guys. I'll be right back, okay? Hold on. All right, guys, I'm back. So let's see what's going on here. US 30 is dumping, man. Look at this. There's another sell entry here for a scalp. I'm tempted to enter the scalp here, but looks a little risky. Yeah, whatever. I entered the scalp in profit. So there's a scalp right here, guys. I literally just got on my computer and I hopped into it. I mean, it's in the direction of our daily move, so that's why I'm taking it. And yeah, I'm in the trade. So if you guys are here, there you go. It's in profit. It's dropping pretty nice, as we speak. So there we go. We have this scalp running right now. Set a target for me. Scalp. One. So we got that set up right there. So I got my alert set up. Let me just set this up on my thing as well. So let's see, we got stop loss 31484. TP's 31384. All right, cool. So, oh shit. All right. Make sure everything is set proper. Okay, cool. I think we're good. So let me, why isn't it setting my thing? 31484, 31384. Okay, got my TP set up and profit about 1,000. Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, here I just took that trade. So I'm gonna show you guys my account right now. Let me drag this over. So I'm in profit 1,000 right now off that trade. I just told you guys I took that scalp, hopping back on. So I'm in profit about 895, 795, 1,000. It's just bouncing around that area. But I do have my TP and stop loss set up. So I did take this trade right here, and I do have my alert set up. So I'll leave that alone, and I'll check the chat real quick, and I'll see what's what's going on here. But all right, so let me check real quick and see what we see what we're talking about over here. So let me scroll up real quick and see what we're looking at over here. Okay. So the next question was from, sorry guys. The next question was from Jasmine. She's asking about SPX. So let me pull up SPX for you guys real quick. Let's do it on this chart. It's not really a big deal. Anyways, looking at the SPX right here, let me go ahead and draw my zones real quick for you, Jasmine, and then we'll see if I see anything here. So, all right, got that there. Got that there. Got that there. These upper zones are kind of irrelevant. Let me just draw this right here as well. All right. So there's, I mean, the most recent entry for this, Jasmine, would have been about 10 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago. It'd be this green candle right here. So I'm just going backwards to show you guys, what was the most recent entry. There's no entry here. There's no entry off this red one, but off this green one right here, this would have been the most entry off that point. I mean, the most recent entry off that point. So if you took that trade, it would have hit TP there with no drawdown, like literally just straight to TP off of that one. But other than that, there's no entries that are available just yet, Jasmine. So that would have been it. That would have been the most recent entry for S&P. Let me go down the chat real quick and see if there's anything else real quick. Billionaire Mindset said, would you still enter a US 30 daily sell again? So I actually did just enter that, Billionaire Mindset. The only time I re-enter a trade for a sell is if there's another entry available. So right here, we had a scalp for a sell. That's why I entered that sell. This is a risky scalp though, because, price is choppy right here. You can see that the pivots are kind of choppy. The only reason I took this sell here is because it lines up with the daily entry, right? So the daily entry full TP is down here. So if it was to drop to complete the move, it would still hit our TP for this trade, as it also would, you know, push down to hit the full TP for the daily entry as well. So that's the only reason why I took this trade. I normally wouldn't take this because it's risky since the pivots are crossing over. However, because it's going the direction of our full TP here for the daily entry, that's why I took this trade here, because it's going the same direction. So if we want it to go down, then, you know, it's a win-win for both of us, because we go for the scalp here, and then whoever's still in that daily entry here as well would also push for that too. So just because it's going towards our bias, that's why we took this scalp for that trade. But other than that, that's the only time that I would re-enter this trade. I wouldn't just enter or sell just because. I would enter only because there's an entry using a different strategy. All right, so any other question here? Hassan's asking for the exit strategy. I thought we moved stop loss to entry. No, Hassan's exit strategy has been the same for the past year, 2 years now. And I'm sure I've sent you the video before. If you go on the website on K2 or on the, I mean, you can go in so many places. If you look at any of the exit strategies that we've been applying, it's always been the same. You're supposed to move it to TP1 whenever you reach that point. So if you're here on the YouTube channel and you look at the K2 simple exit strategy, well, it's been like over 7 months now since we've been using this, about a year now on the actual website, but on the YouTube, I uploaded this later. We've been using the same strategy for like a year now, and it's been to move your stop loss to TP1 when it reaches that point, not necessarily the entry point. So I'm not sure, Hassan, where you saw that, but it's always been the same for like the past year now. So I'm not sure if there was a confusion there, but we move it to a TP once it reaches that point, not entry. So other than that, let me scroll down a little more. Yeah, the market's kind of choppy, guys. So I think we might be taking it easy after this trade right here. This was just a scalp because I saw it coming. And then we're just, I mean, I'm just letting it run for the most part. Anyways, let's see. Vinicius said a bit after TP1. All right. So I think I answered your question for that, Vinicius, already regarding the zone down there. The reason for that zone is because we drew the SR level down there. Damn, I should have just closed this when it was in profit. Look how choppy US 30 is. This is why we don't take it when price is choppy, because it bounces around so much. I probably should close it when it was 1,000 in profit. If it ends up hitting my stop loss, it's fine, because I just move on to the next one. It happens sometimes where, you know, price will go and bounce around, which is not, it's not an unusual occurrence, especially during this time when price is just bouncing around so much. Like, check that out. It's coming right back down, right, as we speak. Look at how choppy this is. Crazy, crazy choppiness right here, right? So we will, I mean, we'll keep watching it, but we'll see how it ends up playing out from this point. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat here real quick. Let me see what everyone has messaged me. Nice. So Camo's back over there. So Camo said started off today with 500. Now I'm up 612. I want 400 more. Yeah, no, definitely. Just got to play smart. You guys got to play smart throughout the day. Let me see if there's any other profits here. Billy's sending his profits. Nice, nice. Yeah, not bad, guys. So the indices market is just super choppy right now, guys. So this was a risky trade to take. I probably should just close it out when I was in profit, but I'll hold on to it for a bit. And there we go. We're back in profit as we speak. Let me see if I can identify what's going on right now. It's just bounced around so much. So once we get out of this trade, I'm probably going to hold off for a bit, because it's just bouncing around way too much. Volatility is just too high, and it's, you know, it's bouncing around within our range, like way too close. So I'm probably going to close out of this soon once it goes back down a little further. All right, so let me scroll up real quick and see what else is going over here real quick. Okay, so Ikundayo's asking, just to be clear, when you speak of rejection off the pivot or structure, you mean the wick and not the body? Yes, that's correct. It's the wick rejection. So if you go back to any of the videos, Ikundayo, I mentioned that like if you look at any of the requirements, it's always a wick rejection. So I'll just put the requirements here again, so you guys can see. So this is the K2 snipe strategy, US 30, 10-minute time frame. So first, you just want to confirm wick rejection. So I'll just put that in, wick rejection. off K2 pivot, which could be any pivot, to confirm wick rejection off K2 SR zone. And then lastly, you just want to confirm wick rejection off K2 pivot does not touch candle body. So that's pretty much it. It's super simple. You know, wick rejection off K2 pivot, wick rejection off K2 SR zone, wick rejection off, and you just make sure that the pivot doesn't touch the body, which it doesn't right here. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Not really much guesswork there. It's just, it's pretty simple. But yeah, you just want to confirm the wick rejection. That's the rejection that we're looking for. So like, for example, right here, we have the wick rejection off the pivot and the structure. It doesn't touch the body. It's good to go. And that would be the requirement for that. So here we go back in profit, guys. I'm about to close this in profit, actually. I'm just not feeling this trade. So I close out of that trade in profit, guys. I don't know if you guys are still in it. If you guys are still in it, I mean, it looks fine. It's just that I don't feel safe about this trade because it bounces around so much. So here's my profits for that. I made 1,000 off that trade. So hopefully you guys locked in some profit. I mean, you guys are still heavy in profit right now. So if you guys want to close it, feel free. If you want to hold it to full TP, you can do that as well. It's just, I don't feel safe with this trade. I took a fat lot size, so I wasn't trying to risk it. You know, I was already in profit 1,000. There's no point in me really risking it. So for today, I took 2 trades. We took this one. I made 419 off that, the daily entry off TP1. And then I took this scalp right here for 1,000. So I'm up like about 5,000 for the week. Not bad, right? For this one account. I have multiple accounts, so that's not the only one that I took. There's more trades. So yeah, if you guys want to exit in profit, it's deep in profit right now. So if you guys move your stop loss in profit, that's cool too. If you want to take the full move. However, I closed out in profit. So if you guys stick in this trade, that you're at your own risk, guys. I already closed out right here, made 1,072. Can't complain off that, right? I'm happy with making 1,000 right now for that trade. And if I see some more scalps, we'll take some more. But I think at this point, it's just too risky, guys. You know, like I mentioned, I went against a couple of my rules. Like one of my rules is I don't trade it when it's choppy. It's choppy right here, so I shouldn't have never taken this trade. But I took it because it's going in the direction of our daily entry, which is still down here. So that's why I took this trade, and I made 1,000 off that. So I'm not complaining. You know, I'm happy with what I made off that. So 5,000 for the week. Not too bad. I'm gonna have Timo and I have 2 accounts, so I technically made 10,000. So it's not really, I don't have anything to complain about. Just gonna keep taking these trades, but I'm gonna wait for the market to get a little safer because right now it's just like I would hate to like throw this away, right? I already made 1,000 off this. If this ends up going back on me, I'd been so pissed that I didn't exit in profit. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, you guys can. If not, then you know, it's really up to you guys if you guys want to hang on to it. It's just too risky for me, especially since I'm taking a big lot size. If I took a small lot size, then I wouldn't be too worried, but I took a fat lot size. So here's Henry again, some more profit. Yo, look at Camo over here. So Camo locked in some more profit. He wanted 400. You're almost there, bro. You had 612, and then you're now at 1,905. So nice work, Camo. You know, your goal is to hit 400. You're basically at that point. You just need a little more, 95, to make your daily goal. So congrats, Camo. If you guys are in the chat, you guys can see Camo's here in the chat. So he's been eyeing those profits. Henry over here sent me another profit on 2 accounts. SMH, thanks for the scalp, bro. So yeah, here's Henry as well. He scalped that right there. He locked in about 300 off that. So he has a couple accounts. He has 2 accounts or 3 accounts, I'm assuming. He has 1 account. He locked in about 1,400. Another account here, another 1,400. And then his 3rd account right here, he's about 300 in profit. So congrats to everybody here in K2 who's killing it. I mean, it's kind of hard for you guys not to kill it, right? If you guys are just copying my trades here on the live session, you guys should be in profit. We haven't had any losses. So today, or I don't know when's the last time we had a loss, but you guys should all be doing good right now and should be deep in profit. So just make sure you guys are following directions. When I'm telling you guys that I'm closing, if you guys want the same profits as me, make sure you're closing too, and you're not getting too risky. If you're taking risks, that's fine, but you guys got to take responsibility for those risks, right? So just keep that in mind if you guys are still holding on to this trade, because I did close out of mine. I showed you guys my profit. I mentioned the risk of holding this longer. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys. If you guys want to keep holding it, that's cool. If not, then Kevin said K2 flipped the switch and sold for now, bro. But I'm bullish on US 30 long term. Nice, nice. Yeah, no, definitely, Kevin. So nice. Yeah, I think long term it should be bullish. I'm just scalping it. All right, cool. So let me just check this real quick. I'm getting a ton of messages on Telegram and email, guys. So if you guys are messaging me, I'm not going to be able to get to you guys just yet. I'm not ignoring you. It's just that I'm trading live right now. And if you guys have been in the room, you guys should know that, I'm live. It's not it's not that it's nothing new. I'm still here live. And that's the reason why I'm not getting to you guys right away. But I will get to you guys eventually. Don't think that I'm ignoring you. I will get back to you guys when I do get a chance. But currently right now, I am on the live session, so I can't get to your messages at this, at this time. So let me go back over here real quick and see if I missed anything else. Matt said, I wish I could hit the like button 10 times. Yeah, I know, definitely, Matt. Thanks for that, bro. I'm glad you guys are all here profiting pretty nice. All right, let me see if there's anything else here real quick. Yeah, Sam said very choppy US 30, and that's why I exited in profit. It might hit full TP, but like I mentioned, it's just too choppy, and I'm taking a big lot size, so I'm not trying to risk it. If I can lock in 1,000 here, I'm not going to not lock it, and I'm going to take it. But yeah, if we have another scalp, then I'll take it. So here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come down. I'm looking for it to come up, possibly reject off the pivot structure again off this area. And then if it's smoothened out, then I'll take that for another sell. But I'm not just going to enter a sell just because, I'm waiting for this to qualify for like another valid entry, because I'm already out of this trade. I'm not going to risk it for like the last couple pips down here, right? Because the price was down here. I closed it when it was down this area. It's only like about 100 pips left, 100 to 200 pips left here. So it's not a big deal of, what's left or not, whatnot. So that's it for US 30. Let me see if there's anything else. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. It's in Arabic. So you said trades when you do not activate or stop losses. Tell us on the channel for the signal. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean by that. So there we go, full TP off this. Oh, there we go, full TP. So if you guys held on, I should have held on to it. I could have made 2,000 off this, not 1,000. But who cares? I'm not complaining. I'm still happy with my 1,000 off that account. So congrats to you guys who held on to that trade. You guys trusted me with this, and you guys took that full TP. So another full TP right there if you guys held on to it. I got to start documenting these. I got to start freaking documenting these scalps, guys, because our win rate is insane with these scalps. So I think what I'm going to start doing, guys, is I'm going to start looking at these scalps that I call on these live sessions, or I'm going to start marking them up. And then I'm going to start documenting them for our results, because obviously I'm taking these trades live with you guys. I mean, this is like as transparent as it gets, right? I identify the trades. I show you guys the strategy. I take it live, show you guys my profits. There's no reason for me to not document these trades, because I know we're going to get people complaining, like telling me like, oh, like there's always going to be one person that's complaining about the trades, even though they're hitting TP. And then I'm just going to document them so you can go back and rewatch them if that becomes the case. But yeah, nice move there. It looks like it's on its way to full TP for that daily move. The daily is still active right here. So just keep that in mind. And I'm tempted to re-enter this and just write it down to full TP right here for another 500 pips. We will, we'll see how this plays out, guys. And this is why I never go against my analysis, right? Like a lot of people that come into this room, it's cool that I do enjoy that you guys give your analysis, but for me, I'm never going to sway my opinion. If I think it's a sell, I'm going to take the sell. Like earlier today, Kevin was mentioning that buy, I didn't budge. I was like, okay, if you think it's going to be a buy, that's cool. And I kept on to the sell, and thankfully I did, because if I didn't keep on to that sell, and I hopped into that buy, like Kevin was mentioning, I wouldn't have made this profit right here, right? So, if you guys have a strategy that you guys like to apply, just stick to it. Don't listen to whatever anyone says. If anyone tells you we're different, then they tell you different, but don't change your analysis just because someone tries to influence you to think differently, right? If you guys have a strategy that works, make sure to stick to it all the time. Don't change up just because someone's like, oh no, it should go the opposite direction. If your analysis is right, your analysis is right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But the main key is just to stay consistent to your strategy. Don't don't change your mind just because someone else says something different. But yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong way to trade. If you guys think it's a buy, then it's a buy. If you think it's a sell, it's a sell. Just make sure to remember that you're following your trading plan always. Anyways, so Chelsea said scalp hit full TP. Yeah, definitely just hit full TP off that. So congrats to you guys who took it. Hey, Mary, good morning. Let me see if there's anything else here for us to look at as we continue on. David said, anyone still holding? I wish I still held it. That would have been good. If it closes below here, guys, I might enter a sell because I think it's going to drop. So you guys can see here, price closed below the structure, it dropped, right? Price closed below the structure, it's probably going to drop, but it's going to be tricky. We have about 6 minutes left on this candle. We'll see how it closes. I mean, this thing might just drop to full TP before we even know it. Let's see. Yeah, no, definitely, guys. So yeah, hopefully you guys locked in some nice profit off this, because I mean, if you guys took the daily entry, you're heavy in profit right now. Your profit should be, you should be in profit at least like 1,000 pips at this point, right? Or less if you're still holding on to it. But if it hit TP1 twice already at this point, so it's pretty solid for the most part. And then we'll continue to keep watching. Let's see, Rick, hope you locked in some nice profit off that. Nice. So yeah, Rick just joined K2 actually a couple days ago, or yesterday actually. Hopefully you're locking in some nice profit off that, Rick. So you're good off that. Let me see if there's anything else here to look at as we continue on. All right, so Gwen's asking about Euro USD. So let me pull up Euro USD for you guys real quick. And I'll just analyze it from scratch to show you guys, what I see here. So let me just take everything off the chart. Because our bias might have changed from yesterday. I know we took a trade here for Euro USD the other day. And we hit our TP2 already. So I got out of that trade this morning. But anyways, let me go ahead and redraw everything for Euro USD here. So here is the, sorry, let me check the Telegram real quick. All right, CT, I'll check that 1 second. In 1 second, let me just analyze Euro USD for Gwen real quick. So let's analyze this from scratch. Here's a naked chart. I turn on the K2SRs here. And then what I'm going to do from this point is I'm going to draw my rectangles here. So guys, just keep in mind that make sure that you guys are applying the exit strategy, right? Today, I mean, not today, this week is NFP. So you guys got to remember that market's going to be super erratic. I've warned you guys on Sunday, warned you guys yesterday. The market's going to bounce back and forth a lot this week. So you guys got to make sure that you guys are protecting your positions and using the exit strategy. I know some of you guys like to take risky trades, but this isn't necessarily the week to take risks, right? Like this is a week to take smart trades. Don't take risk this week because it's NFP. Price can easily reverse on you at any moment. It's a super heavy news week. So if I pull up the news here, you guys can see that there's a lot of stuff going on today. Not today, but just this whole week. We had the ISM manufacturing PMI this morning, yesterday morning. This morning we had the Canadian medium news, and then we have Aussie news today later on as well. But you guys can see here that this whole week is full of news. And then Friday is going to be NFP, which is going to be crazy once we reach, probably Thursday. So, or Friday, actually. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a ton of messages here. I'm going to get you guys on Telegram after, because I'm just getting too many messages on Telegram on email right now. But I'm going to finish analyzing this. So, guys, just back to what I was saying earlier. Today, this is NFP week. So there's a lot of news going on this week. So you guys got to make sure to use use the exit strategy that we advise, because if not, you might get caught in some reversal. So anyways, let me pull up your USD. Here's our zones. We have a pending buy signal right here. So what I see happening from this point is we have a rejection from this point. If this ends up closing right here with a buy signal, let's see where the zones are. So let me see. The first zone is there's actually some zones in this area. So there's going to be areas of rejection within the zone. So it's a zone within a zone, right? If that becomes the case here, then I wouldn't trade within this area because there's so many zones within this single zone here. So looking at Euro USD, let me turn off the zones. We have a rejection from this point. We have a buy signal from this point. However, I wouldn't take this buy until price ends up closing above this area right here, because there's so many zones within this area and there's going to be points of rejection everywhere. So like, for example, even though we get a buy signal here, price can easily reject from here, reject from here, reject from here, reject from here, et cetera, right? There's a lot of areas where price can reject from. So that's why we would only take buys if price ends up breaking above this structure here, because with a zone being at this point, price can easily come up to this point, reject off here, and then swing all the way back down, right? So that's why I wouldn't take any buys off this point. I would personally hold off on trading Euro USD right now. I would hold off until price either breaks above here and closes so you can take a buy, or I would wait for it to reject back down this way and close below here with a sell signal in order to take a sell, right? Because you don't want to trade within these zones, because if you trade within here, there's going to be a lot of areas for there to be rejection, right? You can see all these wicks around this area. Price is rejecting a lot within this area. Price will come up, reject off this point, come back down, reject off this point. It's just too risky of an area to trade unless you're like scalping or doing something really quickly, because that's going to make a big difference with regards to your position, you know, if you decide to take a buy or a sell here. But I wouldn't trade within these zones. I would only trade within the open areas where there's no rejection points. So for this right here, I would not take this trade, or I wouldn't even trade this at all. Let's see. Sorry, let me scroll up real quick. I see you guys having your like side combo there. That's cool. David, so you don't want to end up like Shawn. Here, let me see what you guys are talking about here. So you guys are saying, Samurai said FTMO rules, Shawn, or FTMO rules question, Shawn. If you can time, can you hold your trades through economic news? Sorry, I'm going to reread your question, Samurai. FTMO rules, Shawn. If you can hold your trades through economic news, if you were in the trade already, and it's going to be a pain to have to close low impact news. So yeah, you can trade news, Samurai. You just can't trade like 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after. That's the main rule for the news. But technically, you can trade during news. You just can't enter a trade or exit a trade 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after, because they don't want people to be taking these risky trades, right? Like if you're holding a trade into news, you're either going to hit that TP or you're going to hit that stop loss if it spikes up or down, which is fine. They just don't want people to be entering like for a second to catch that little spike of like liquidity or volatility, you know, when the news event happens, and then they try to close out. So that's like their main rule for the news, but you can trade during news. It just depends. Okay, so CAD-JPY just hit TP2 for 30 pips. So where are the horns at? All right, guys. So our CAD-JPY just hit TP2 right now for 30 pips. So if you guys took my call yesterday for CAD-JPY, we just hit TP off that right there. And like I was mentioning with Forex, guys, we still trade Forex. It's just we don't trade it as much, right? We still trade, but it's just not our main concern because we make way more money scalping. So I still trade this, and I'm still making calls for this here. It's just that we don't take it normally. So Eunice, I see your question there. I'll take a look at your message right now. I did see that it was relevant to what we're covering right now, so I will look at it. But let me see what's going on here. All right, so CT sent a message here as well. Let me check the chat. Yeah, definitely, no problem, Samurai. Yeah, CT said US 30. So here's CT's markup for US 30. Nice. Okay, so CT is looking for a sell scalp right here on the 3 minute, which is like CT's favorite. CT loves doing that on the 3 minute, huh? So this is why I told you guys not to enter a trade yet, right? You want to wait for it to close below here. But let me pull up CT's. Hey CT, so for your scalping on the 3 minute, where did you draw your zones? I just want to make sure my zones are proper. I know you go from the top down, but we'll see real quick what you know what you're looking at. I just want to make sure my zones are proper. I don't know if you go from the 1 hour and down. I think that's what you do, right? So let me just go back real quick, because I know you like to go from the 1 hour and then you go down lower and lower to see where they overlap, right? So if I go from the 1 hour to the 30-minute, damn, this is confusing to me. So CT, maybe if you can clarify a little bit, I can draw my zones proper, because I don't want to go in the 3-minute and then miss whatever you're looking at there, because their zones are different. But here, I'll just draw my zones on the 30 and 10. Okay. So let's go here on the 30 real quick. I'm just going to draw my zone. So this is what CT does, right? Everyone does things a little differently. You don't have to follow exactly what I teach, but if you find something that works better, like this really works for CT. So he goes on the 30, he'll draw his zones here on the 30. And then I think he drops down to like the 10 to clean up the zones. And then from that point, he will determine, his scalp entries on the 3-minute, which is solid. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do this. There's not just one way. So if you find a way that works for you, I mean, keep doing it. Because our main goal here is to profit, guys. It's not, there's no, what do you call that? Like, I'm not an overlord here. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. Literally, I'm telling you guys what I'm doing, but you guys don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing, right? You can always change things up to your liking, depending on how you want to trade it. Because I just give you guys the tools. Like, literally, I'm giving you guys the tools, the blueprint of what I'm doing. But you guys are welcome to do whatever you want. There's no one way to do it. But anyway, so here's CT zones right here. Let me just hide this. Turn on the pivots. Yeah, so CT is looking for a rejection off the pivot on this area over here. All right, so CT is looking for a rejection off this point. Let me pull up his chart real quick. So yeah, he kind of has it marked up right there. It's around that same area that I have marked up as well. So we're looking for a rejection off these pivots right here. If we get a wick rejection off these pivots, then it'd probably be pretty nice for a sell, because our daily entry is still running. So our daily entry is still active here. So this still needs to complete. And with that said, if we're looking for some scalps within it, we can possibly catch some scalps off this area too. So that looks pretty solid, CT. I would just have to, obviously we're gonna be waiting for it to play out. I mean, your zones look way different from mine. I must have done it wrong, but it's all good. I mean, it kind of lines up anyways. So we got about 1 minute or 2 minutes left on this candle, 1 minute and 50 seconds. If this closes right here, CT, this might be your sell. Might hop into this with you. All right, so this looks good from there. Let me see if there's anything else here to look at, as we continue on. So let's see. All right, so that's it with those questions. Now let me get to your question, Eunice. So Eunice said, "Hey Shawn, today the first K2 signal after 6:30 a.m. was a buy signal. Why did we take a sell?" I didn't see a buy there, Eunice. The first signal here was a sell. So if I turn this, let me see if I can zoom out from this point. As you can see right here, this is the candle right here. Eunice, see how 6:30 is right here? The first candle was a sell right here. It wasn't a buy. So I'm not sure if you saw things differently, Eunice, but so I marked it up right here, 6:30, market open. The first signal was a sell right here. So I'm not sure if you missed that one and you thought it was this one, but it was actually a sell right here, Eunice. So I'm not sure if you might be using different broker data, or you might have just misinterpreted this. But this would be the opening candle right here, 6:30, and the first one would be a sell. So that's why we took that sell there. It might be hard to see from the screen, but zooming in from there, you can see that the first signal right there was a sell signal. All right, so anyways, back to what I was saying earlier for US 30. Yeah, it looks like a solid sell right there. CT, you're gonna take it? Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll take it. So I'm in this trade, CT. Take CT's little scalp right here. All right, cool. So like I mentioned, we do bounce around from time frame to time frame. So this is the 10-minute right here. It looks like the 10-minute is, I mean, it wouldn't be a valid entry just yet, but I did take this little scalp here for US 30. following CT's analysis. CT is usually pretty on point with his scalps. So I'm trusting CT on this one. Let's see. I'm going to set my TP stop loss. I'm probably going to manually exit this though. I don't know if I want to hold this for that long, because it's not really you know, falling in line with my requirements, but I do see it dropping, because I was looking for a sell anyways. It's just that CT found a perfect little snipe entry right here. All right, let's see. These parameters are always like off a little bit. 3189. 31389. All right, so I'm in profit for that trade, about $300 right now. So I'll be holding on to a CT. It's a nice call off that one right there. Let me just set my TP. I'll set an alert. ACT. So for this, do you go for 500 pips? I'm trying to figure out what your TP would be. Scalp number 1, full TP. I'm assuming it's 500, right? I'm just gonna hold on to it anyways for 500. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm probably gonna exit early. I'll let you guys know if and when I do exit. It does look pretty solid right now for the most part. Yeah, so I'm currently running that right now. I'm in profit about $100, 145 right now off that trade. If I do exit it, I'll let you guys know. I mean, you guys are here in the live session. You guys will see when I do exit it. I think this is cool though that they have a $200,000 account. I'm gonna see if I can I might have to do another challenge to bump it up, because I don't think they're just gonna bump it up just because I asked them to. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out from here. Let me check this real quick. All right, so it's dropping down pretty nice right now as we speak. Let me check the 10-minute. So yeah, there's no entry here on the 10-minute, but there is an entry on the 3-minute that we looked at. So yeah, looking at the 10-minute right here, it didn't touch the structure. So there's no entry off here off the 10-minute, but with CT's analysis here, it actually looks pretty nice. I think I'm gonna close out of this soon, guys. Let me see. I drop a little more. All right, I'm closing out, guys. So I just got scared because it just doesn't fit my requirements. So like it just didn't fit my requirements. So I kind of freaked out a little bit. That's fine, because it's not my strategy. This is CT strategy. So that's why he feels comfortable with it. I don't feel comfortable with it. That's why I exited. But I showed you guys earlier my totals for the week was like 5,000. Let me show you my totals now. Oh yeah, check that out. What is that right there? Boom, 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 boom. So just looking at this from this point, I was at 5,000. I'm at 6,000. So thanks to you, CT, I locked in another 1,000 off that trade. So this is why we like trading with each other here, right, guys? We all are here for the same reason. We're here to profit. It doesn't matter if I'm profiting. It doesn't matter if you're profiting. It doesn't matter if anyone's profiting. As long as we're profiting, that's all that really matters here, right? So I took this advice from CT's chart over here. CT, I'll owe you a beer next time I see you, if that ever happens. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. But here's CT's markup right here for his US 30. So nice call on that, CT. I'm out of that trade already, guys. So if you guys want to hold it, it's up to you. I told you guys I'm already out of the trade, so I'm not going to be watching it anymore. I'm going to just delete these alerts here because I'm not watching it anymore. I'm already out in profit. I locked in a nice 1,145 off that trade. So if you guys are in it, you guys are in it. If not, it's all good. I mean, CT is still holding it, so it's probably going to keep dropping. It's just, for me, it's not my strategy, so I'm not comfortable with it, and that's why I exited. But it could continue to drop. You know, there's no saying whether it continues or whether it doesn't. But yeah, I mean, we're out of that trade at that point. Nice. Funky said, thanks, CT, another 70, LOL. Yeah, so like, you know, great work off that, CT. Nice. You're half out. All right, cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm tempted to hop back in, but I don't want to, because this is this is so CT is probably comfortable with this, right? He's probably not freaking out. For me, I'm freaking out because I don't trade on I don't really trade below the 10-minute. Below the 10-minute is just way too noisy for me. Like if I saw an entry here on the 10-minute and it matched up with that 3-minute entry, then I'd be completely fine. I'm like, all right, cool. Our entries line up. But for me, there's no entry here on the 10-minute. So that's why I was kind of uneasy about holding that trade. But I mean, I can't complain, guys, right? How can I complain? I made 1,000 off that, 1,145. I'm happy with it. I don't know about you guys, but profit's profit to me. Yeah, CT said, got to make some toast. Check your Insta account, then come back. Yeah, no, definitely, bro, definitely. Let's see what else we got over here real quick as we continue on. Oh gosh, okay. Yeah, so CT said my zones are a little different because I engulfed the entire area. He just had like a smaller area above here, but it matched it perfectly, so it's fine. Nice. CT said he's already in. Yeah, definitely. Eunice said maybe I used a different time zone. Vinicius said, I think Eunice meant the first signal of the day at Eunice. The first candle after market open was a sell, so that's why. Yeah. So there might be some sort of confusion there. I mean, it's fine, Eunice. You know, some people get confused. Like you might have just seen it differently, but or you might have just had the hours off differently. So you might have had, because I have it here at 6:30. You like, well, what Vinicius said, you might have had it at 5:30 because that's when the day started for a New York session. So if you're looking at 5:30, yeah, it would be a buy here. But we were looking at the 6:30 New York Stock Exchange open. So it just might be a little difference with the timing. You might have just looked at the wrong candle, but it's fine. Just hopefully that hopefully this explains or it clears up your confusion here, because this would have been the, the first signal of that. But all right, anyway, so let me scroll down a little more. What time is it? It's 9. So guys, we're getting close to mid-market. I'm probably gonna get offline within the hour. So if you guys have any other questions, just put them in the chat and I can take a look. Otherwise, we're just gonna wrap up the session within the next 30 minutes. And then I'm gonna look for some Forex entries as well before the next 4-hour candle close on our chart. So let me see if there's anything else here real quick. All right, so I see you guys' a side convo over there. Okay, so Eunice uses negative. Yeah, so you should probably use UTC -7. Eunice, I think that's probably what it is. Your time zone was off by an hour. So that does make sense now because it was 6:30 for us. You probably had your time zone set to, or I mean, it wouldn't really matter, right? Here, let me see if I change it. Let me change mine real quick and I'll see if it does anything different. No, or actually, no, it does. Okay. So yeah, your time zone is a little off, Eunice, because you're off by 1 hour. So, okay, that makes sense. So Vinicius, it does make sense why his time was off because 6:30 on his clock here was off by 1 hour, but we're on Pacific time. So we're -8 and that would be proper. Okay, Eunice, so that clears up the confusion there. It looks like your time zone is just off by 1 hour. So it would technically be, so if you're -7, it would technically be 7:30 for you because you're an hour ahead of us. So just keep that in mind, Eunice. Now you know, so there's no confusion there because we're Pacific time. So Pacific time would be -8. All right, so let's see if there's anything else here real quick as we continue. Yeah, good idea, David. So David mentioned if you're following Kate's, you might as well use New York City time for your charting because you guys don't mess up your time zones. Because I could see that mistake that Eunice made. That's like a common mistake. That's something that anyone could possibly make on accident. All right. So Camo said, learning to take my time. I win almost all the trades I wait for. Rushing and greed kills. Yeah, exactly, Camo. Tell me about it, right? Story of your life, dude. Like you were in profit so much last week, and I forgot what happened. You took like a couple of bad trades, right? You were just getting too greedy, and you just wanted to like hop into every trade that you saw, and that didn't play out right. So if you just follow the the rules and the requirements, you should be able to lock in some pretty nice profits, and they're pretty consistent as well. So looking at this right here, this is actually another scalp entry for US 30, but I don't think I'm going to take this trade. I mean, we'll see. Honestly, I don't know. The price just looks too choppy, so I don't think I'm going to enter it. But I mean, we'll wait and see if this ends up, being a good trade or not. Sorry, guys, I'm just responding to this text. Sorry. So yeah, looking at this here, we have about a minute left, but like I mentioned, this is way too choppy. So I'm not going to take this trade. If you guys want to take it, you guys can, but I'm probably not going to take this trade. Or maybe I might lie and I might take it, because sometimes I'll say that I'm not going to take it, and then it looks like such a good trade that I end up taking it. But here, I'll just mark it up for you guys if you guys do want to take it. It is a risky trade though, so keep that in mind. It is lined up with the other entry as well too. Yeah, that's too risky. I'm not going to take that trade right there. It just looks way too choppy off this. Let's see. Are there any other questions here? Yeah, nice. So CT is out in profit. We'll go most likely, but we'll keep hitting singles and stack. That's what I'm saying too. CT. That's what I'm doing. I'm not even like wasting time on taking these big moves. I'd rather just keep scalping within it and then locking in profits, back and forth. So let's see. Yeah, Kirsten. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So Kirsten said sell on US 30 and 10 minutes. So there's a sell right here, but it's not something that I really want to take because it's just too choppy. We got about 20 seconds left on this. I'll see how it closes and I'll let you guys know whether it's valid or not. But even though if it is valid, like if I take off the candles, look how choppy this is right here. It's not really something that I really want to necessarily take because it's just too risky on my end. But anyways, we have 5 seconds left on this. If anyone doesn't want to take it, I'm probably not going to take it. I'll probably wait for a bit and I might take it late, but I'm not going to take it right away. So yeah, technically this is a valid entry right here, Kirsten. If you decided to take it, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to wait. If it drops below here, then maybe I'll hop in late and I'll just go in for like a late, like small, crap. What is this freaking thing? I might go in for a little, a smaller scalp, but I think this is way too risky. So I'm not going to take this trade, but it is there if you guys decide to take that scalp. Yeah, I agree. CT price is definitely turning a bit. So I wouldn't, it's just too risky. It's not something that I would want to take at this point. In Kondayo, CT is mentioning that it's turning the other way. It's turning upwards. So that's what he means by turning. Harris said, K2, how much for the strategy do you do one-on-one? Yeah, so if you guys sign up to the K2 strategy, just go on the website. So if you guys want to learn the strategy that we're applying here for all these scalps, like literally what I'm applying here to like lock in this profit for today, and what CT's applying to call these trades as well, because you guys can see in the chat, other people are also taking these trades. It's not just me. And they're identifying these trades and letting me know so that I can go look at them. Because literally everyone in K2 has this. So like everyone like locks in their own profits. So like if you go, through our profits over here, majority of these people are taking these trades on their own. Like Henry's taking these trades on his own. Kirsten over here, she's taking trades on her own. Tam, she's taking these trades on her own while she's in vacation. Billy's taking trades on his own. Everyone here is taking their own trades. And if you guys want access to that, just go on the K2 website, k2trades.com, click on K2 strategy course right here. And yes, I do give one-on-one mentorship, Harris. It's just, we're probably going to be closing that soon. We were supposed to close it yesterday, but I feel bad for like as soon as I closed the signups, a whole bunch of people messaged me and was like begging me to open it back up. So I'm going to leave it open for a little longer. It's just, I just don't have time to be mentoring people as much, because we're over here busy with these trades. So if you are a member, you have access to me for mentorship. But if you're a new sign up and you guys don't sign up before it closes the next time, then I'm just not going to have time to be teaching new people, because I'm here to focus on who's already in K2, right? If you guys trusted K2 and you guys learned the strategy from the beginning, I'm here to make sure that everyone continues to keep profiting. Like obviously everyone here is profiting every day. And we want to keep that going. So yeah, Harris, if you want to sign up, just go on the website. If it closes again, you guys email me and message me to reopen it. I'm not going to reopen it because you guys had a lot of opportunity to sign up already. And I just, having these mentoring sessions takes up too much of my time, because I'd rather just scalp all day and then lock in profits just scalping rather than teaching. Even though I don't mind teaching, I like to teach. It's just, I want to focus on my own scalps, because literally everyone in K2 is making like way more profit than me. Like if I show you my profits here, let me show you real quick. So, okay, yesterday I locked in, or like today. So today I locked in, let's see. Today I locked, for this week, I locked in 6,000, right? 6,275. That's for this week, because I got my payout last week. If you look at everyone else's profits in K2, like people are locking in way more profit than me. And I'm the one that's teaching, so I should be locking the most profit, right? But I just don't have time to really teach. I mean, to trade on my own, because I'm busy teaching. Like Ryan over here, he locked in 2,000 yesterday. Let's see, Mark over here, like literally everyone's locking in like pretty good profit every single day, and I'm just too busy, mentoring people, that I'm not able to take all these trades. Like where's like Cheryl over here? I know you guys have seen Cheryl. She locked in like 2,000. 3,000, 4,000, about 5,000 total yesterday, just taking the trades that we were taking, and she was trading on her own as well. Let me see, where's the other profit? So I know Cheryl locked in a lot like the other day. Oh, here you go. She locked in 9,000, right? So this 9,000 makes my 6,000 over here look laughable, right? So like the thing with this is I'm busy like teaching you guys while like other people here are just trading. Like, see, even Cheryl changed her name to Making It with K2. She locked in like this much trading all these pairs. She traded the NASDAQ 100. She traded the German DAX 30. She traded the UK 100. There's a ton of opportunity out there. And there's just too little time, right? So that's why I want to focus on taking trades rather than mentoring brand new people. I don't mind mentoring people that already been in K2, because you guys already know what you're doing, and I just need to help you guys with little things. But like brand new people that join K2, I just don't have time to mentor, from scratch. Even though, I don't mind it, but obviously I would prefer to just do, take these trades on my own. So hopefully you guys can take this trade here, because look how messy it is. It's starting to bounce around a lot. Here, let's see if there's anything else real quick. Marcus said, what do you do when you're done with the course curriculum, Shawn? So Marcus, I'm not sure if you, did you sign up to the premium, Marcus? Because if you signed up to the premium, once you're done with everything, you can just start applying your own, you could start trading on your own, right? Because everyone here in K2 just trades on their own. They learn the strategy, they have the indicators, and they do it on their own. I'm not sure, Marcus, if you're in the premium or if you're just in the free intro course. Because so here on the website, guys, there's a couple different options, right? We have the signals. If you just want to copy my trades, you have the signals here. If you want to learn how to trade like how I'm doing and be mentored by me, the K2 strategy course is right here. And there's also the free course right here. So I'm not sure which one you're in, Marcus. If you're in this one right here, you can start trading on your own. You don't really need me unless you want to have a one-on-one session with me. Otherwise, if you're doing this free course right here, then if you want to level up to do the actual strategy, then you can sign up to this right here. So I'm not sure which one you're in, Marcus, but depending on which one you're in, I'm assuming you're either in the strategy course or you're in the free course, one of these two right here. But all right, so let me check the chat real quick. Smoke said, don't think about it, just sign up while you can. Best thing I've done for years. Thanks, K2. Yeah, definitely, Smokes. I'm glad to have you on board, bro, because I remember when you first joined, I had no idea who you were, and then you started locking in profits like back to back, and it's been good for not just you, but for the whole team. Because like for me, guys, I don't care if I'm profiting. I don't care if you guys are profiting. I don't care if even like non-K2 members are profiting. As long as we're all profiting, that's all that matters. Because we're all here on the same goal, right? Everyone is here to profit. Everyone's here to, be consistently profitable with trading, and it's possible. It's literally possible if you, if you just stay consistent and you keep executing your trading plan. So anyways, guys, let me go back to this chat real quick and see what else we have here before we continue. Yeah, Marcus is on the free one. So Marcus, if you want to start applying the strategy, you'll just have to upgrade to the strategy course right here. Otherwise, I mean, there's nothing else you can do with the free intro course after you've gone through the videos, because the free intro course. So here, I'm gonna show you guys what the free intro course looks like for the brand new people here who aren't familiar with K2. So basically, the free intro course is you basically have access to everything except the indicators and the premium group. So this is the free intro course here that Marcus is talking about. It has all the videos here, the basics, and then all the strategies here, right? So you guys can see all of the strategies, and then you guys can see how everything's done and all the results here, but you're not going to be able to apply it unless you have the K2 indicator. So Marcus, if you want to apply the strategies, you're going to have to sign up for the actual strategy course, because then you can't, if you sign up to this, you'll get the indicators. But if you're just in the free intro course, you can watch everything, but you can't necessarily apply it because you don't have the indicators yet. So, whenever you're ready, you can upgrade, but just like I mentioned, it's going to, yeah, Marcus, the way to get the indicators, you'll have to sign up to this right here. Click on K2 strategy course right here, and then you can get the indicators. I just saw CT's message right there. But yeah, of course, Marcus, if you want to get the indicators, just click on this here and sign up. Otherwise, this is probably going to close soon. This was supposed to close yesterday, but people kept asking me to leave it open. So I'm going to leave it open a little longer for whoever wants to sign up. If not, then, I mean, you guys are going to lose your opportunity there. So just make sure to sign up if you guys want it. If not, it's all good. You guys can just wait for the next opening, which I have no idea when that will be. Because the thing is, if I keep winning at these scalps, well, obviously I'm gonna keep winning at these scalps. If I keep profiting like crazy on these scalps, like for example here, guys, like, see, this is what I made on one account for this week. And this is me going on live with you guys every day, like trading live. Imagine if I was just focused and just trading on my own, this could probably double, if not triple, like easily, if I'm just focusing on my trades. So if I get too focused on my trades, I'm not gonna have time to sign up any new people. I'm just gonna be focused on my own trading. So if you guys want to take the opportunity, take it while it's available. If not, you guys are gonna have to wait for me to be available again, which might not be anytime soon. Because if this market keeps playing like this and keeps hitting our TPs, then there's really no reason for me to slow down. It's gonna be all gas, no brakes, literally, for these scalps. But okay, so let me see if there's anything else before we continue. Yeah, Jasmine said, yeah, definitely sign up. I wasted a lot of time and money looking somewhere else. Very easy to follow and understand consistency. And that's the main key, guys. The main key is, consistency. Just as long as you guys stay consistent, you guys can literally just keep racking up profits over and over and over again. Nice. So check this out, guys. Here is, I give David a shout out over here with his new MacBook. So David got his MacBook coming in. It's out for delivery. So David could finally start getting on these Zoom calls and not have a 20-second lag. So nice work, David. David with his US 30 profits right there, right? US 30 and EU. Those are your favorite pairs now, EU, GU, and US 30. So David's new MacBook is on its way. Yeah, no, CT said you might overtrade. Just kidding. Yeah, no, I mean that's probably one of the dangers of me scalping all day, right? CT, that's the main thing. But all right, guys, so it's 9:30 right now, or 9:21. I'm gonna look for some Forex trades. If you guys have any other questions, put them in the chat right now, because I'm gonna be off before 10 a.m. So if you guys don't get your questions within the next 20 minutes or so, I'm gonna be logging off, and then you guys can still reach me on Telegram, but I'm just not going to be on this live session. Oh, and just a reminder, I'll send you guys my schedule today for my sessions. So for my mentoring sessions today, I have one session at 2 p.m. with Alan. That's in about, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. In about 5 hours, I have my first mentoring session with Alan. So if you guys want to sit in on that session, it's completely free. You guys just need to make sure to like this YouTube video or this YouTube stream, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. That way YouTube knows that you want to watch my videos, because I don't send that link out. The only way for you to get my links for my mentoring sessions is if YouTube knows that you want to watch my videos. So in order to sit in on the mentoring sessions, just make sure to like this stream, follow the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications. That way, YouTube will know that you want to watch my videos, and they'll send you an email when I go live. So later today, I have 3 mentoring sessions that are public. I have one with Alan at 2 p.m. I have one at 4 p.m. with Gerald. And then I have another one later tonight at 9 p.m. with Kevin. So I have I have quite a few sessions for tonight. So just if you guys want to sit in on those mentoring sessions, you guys can sit in on them. Also, if you guys sat in on my mentoring session yesterday, I had one with Shonda. So if you guys go on the YouTube channel, I covered a lot of things there. She asked me a lot of like important questions here. If you go here to the mentoring session, let's see, past live streams, mentoring session 16 hours ago. This one was with Shonda here. So if you want to watch this, I covered a lot of stuff with regard to taxes, FTMO, drawing zones and stuff like that. And this will probably answer a lot of your questions too, if you want to sit in on that. Otherwise, I'm going to have another mentoring session later tonight or this afternoon with, with Alan. Louis said, do you sell MacBooks? No, I don't sell MacBooks. David said, no, LOL, just ordered one. Current MacBook was 2009. Yeah, no, David just ordered a brand new MacBook. I don't sell MacBooks. Maybe I should, huh? Maybe my side hustle right there. Selling you guys in K2 some MacBooks so you guys can trade off trading if you like me. Yeah, no, that's funny. I just found that funny, Luis. But no, I didn't. I don't sell MacBooks. David just bought that on his own. So guys, I'm looking for these zones here off odd JPY because I'm going to be looking for some trades. So let me see the 4-hour right here. All right, so the next zone is actually pretty far off. It's like way up here. So if this ends up closing, this might be an entry for odd JPY. Right there for a buy. That's a big move. Might be like a 70 pip move. I don't really want to go for too big of a move, obviously. It is NFP. So you guys got to make sure to use exit strategy, right? I have this set up right here for odd JPY. I'll call that in the next 30 minutes when this closes. I'll just mark this up so I come back to it. Odd NZD, nothing there. Odd USD, possible entry here. So the reason for this entry here, guys, is we have the rejection from this point. We have a buy signal right here that's pending. If it closes, it would have broken close past the structure. So it would provide for a long position, right over here. Yeah, this would provide for a long position right over there. So I will mark this up in case it does close. If it does, we'll take the trade. If not, we will hold off. So I'll mark that up there. It looks like the Aussie is kind of strong right now. KJPY, it's on its way to full TP right there. CHF JPY bullish, Euro odd. I wish I would have called this trade for you guys on Sunday. Would have hit full TP with like literally no drawdown. Let's see, Euro CHF right here. EG right there. EJ. Nothing there. Nothing there. Euro USD, GA, GC. So I don't see any trades here. The only trades I see are for odd JPY and odd USD. Otherwise, G right here could be an entry as well. Let's see. David, are you in this for a buy? I forgot if you had a buy or a sell for these pairs here. Looks like the USD is starting to weaken. But, like I mentioned, it's NFP week. So, I mean, get ready for some traps. Actually, today's trap, there's a lot of traps. It is Tuesday. So I might be careful with these trades because there's going to be a lot of traps today. What do you guys call it? Trap out Tuesday? I forgot what you guys call it. You guys in the chat, you guys had a name for Tuesdays. Trap Tuesdays, trap out Tuesdays, something like that, right? So I'll have these marked up. I'm probably just going to call one of them. I'm not going to call all of them because it's going to be horrible if all of them end up trapping out, right? So we got a rejection from here. Buy signal right here, breaking close past structure. We'll mark that up right there as well. Long position. All right. NZD JPY, NZD USD. Yeah, that's what David said. I'd be careful. Yeah, I'm not really going to take too many trades. I'm just marking these up here, but there is a rejection from that point. Buy signal, breaking close past structure would provide for a long entry right there. If this ends up, if this ends up closing, but there's a lot of traps that are setting up. CT said it is and always will be Taco Tuesday. Good idea, right? She get some fish tacos today. Yeah, I gave up meat, guys, for Lent, so it's crazy. It's weird. I've never given up meat before, like long term like that, so I can't eat meat till next month. There's no meat for me. Fish tacos today. All right, so I think that's it for these pairs here, guys. So I've marked up everything here. I see a buy here for AUD/JPY if that closes. A buy here for AUD/USD. Albert Dossman is calling me. I'll call you back, Albert. Let me see. So let me just message Albert. Just gotta message Albert real quick. Yeah, no, definitely. So I marked up these trades here, guys. So if you see these orange markers, these are trades that I'm be looking for off the candle close. We still have 30 minutes left on this candle, so we have a lot of time before we decide to, take a trade or not. But yeah, these are the ones that I have marked up. Let's go back to US 30 real quick. Crazy choppiness right here. So I'm not going to trade US 30 for a bit, guys, because it's just too choppy, right? So this whole area right here, I would not trade within this area because it's just too choppy. I would wait for it to smoothen out. If it shoots up, then I'll take some buys. If it shoots down, I'll take some sells. But until then, it's just way too choppy right now. So there's no scalps available here for these indices. I'll go down the indices list real quick and I'll see if there's anything else here for us to necessarily look at this time. But I don't think there's really much for us to look at. Honestly, there's just not. Looks like the indices market got a little messy over the past hour or so. Damn, look at these entries here for AUD/USD. So I don't know if anyone took these trades. There's actually a bunch of entries right here. I mean, not AUD/USD, for the Aussie index. So right here, you can see that all these pivots right here, or all these wicks, are rejecting off the pivot in the structure, right? So there's one entry here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 entries right there. So if you took any of these right here, like for example, this one, you would have hit full TP off that, right? So a bunch of entries there for the Aussie 200. Not sure who was following it, but if you did, I mean, it would have played out pretty nicely off here, right down there. So the Aussie 200, some great entries right there for whoever caught those. Obviously, I didn't catch any of them. There's actually some buys here as well. So there's sells there, and then there's a couple buys right here. So you could have traded this in both directions. You would have still hit TP. So a lot of choppiness right here, guys. It's too choppy for me to want to enter these trades, but I'm just showing you guys, what was available. So the Spain index, nothing there. The French index, nothing there. The DAX 30, this is way too choppy. I would not even bother looking at the DAX right now. If I turn this off, look at the choppiness right here. Way too choppy. The NSA, way too choppy here too. NASDAQ actually doesn't look that bad, but I still wouldn't trade it. Like personally, I just wouldn't trade it because it still looks messy to me. I mean, it's smoother, but it's still messy. So looking at the NASDAQ here, let me just show you guys. There was an entry that was available off this green one for a sell. So there's actually two. There's one right here and there's one right here. So if you took this one right here, looks like you'd be slightly in profit right now. But like I mentioned, it's just too risky. I wouldn't take it. UK 100. Let's see, no entry there. S&P. So Jasmine, if you took this trade here, the one that we looked at earlier, that would have hit TP. It looks like there's no other entry since then. So since then, looks like everything is pretty much just bouncing around. This wouldn't be an entry here because there's no rejection off the structure. And this wouldn't be an entry here because there's no rejection off the pivot. So technically this S&P, if it closes bearish, if it closes below here, then you might have an entry off this. But like I mentioned, it's too choppy. It's not something that I would necessarily want to take, on my own account. So that's it for the indices right here. Other than that, we have about, let's see, 27 minutes left on this Forex candle. So once this closes, I'll be logging off for the day. And then I'll be back in about 4 or 5 hours for, I'll be back in about 4 or 5 hours once we get to, once we get to that one point when this candle closes. So let me check real quick to see if there's anything else that I'm missing over here. All right, so we got a couple questions over here, but I'll answer them later. I'll just focus on this live stream right now. So I'm getting a bunch of messages on Telegram. Let me check my emails real quick. Oh God. Oh man, I hate looking at my emails, guys. I got like over 200 emails to respond to. See, this guy's trying to hire me into his company. Hey, Shawn, interested in an advisory role? No, bro, of course not. There's another, I'm not going to name their company. There's another trading company here that just messaged me. He wants me to be an advisor for his trading company. Yeah, no, I'm not going to respond to that. Well, I'll respond to, I'll just tell him I'm not interested. All right. Let me see what else we're looking at here. So yeah, guys, I just went over all the scalps here for the indices. I wouldn't trade any indices right now, guys. It is hitting mid-market right now. It's about to be 10. So we could probably see this reverse from this point. It's probably going to swing up. So it's come down. Here, let me show you guys for an example here. So basically you can see here, let me see if I can just take this off. Okay, so if you guys look at price here, you can see that the first half of the market for US, it comes down, right? Now that we've hit mid-market, it usually reverses upwards. So I'm not going to take any more trades for US 30. I'm going to sit out and just, let it be. But generally, this is usually what happens, right? So like it'll go one way and then it'll go the other way halfway through. So it just becomes a little too risky for us to really want to take some trades off this point. So hopefully you guys close out of this position in profit because it did hit TP1 like 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. So you had 3 opportunities to close out in profit. And I'm already out in profit. So I have no active positions right now. As you guys can see right here, these are all my closed positions for today. I locked in some pretty decent profit. I have 2 FTMO accounts. So I locked in 419 plus 1,072.50 plus 145. So I locked in a total of 2,636 for today for one account, and I have 2 FTMO accounts, so multiply that by 2. I have a total of 5,273 for the day. So profits are pretty nice for the day. I'm not going to bother risking it, taking more trades and, risk some losses. So I'm going to sit out for any more scalps, but I'll probably be back for Asia session later today to take some scalps. So if you guys sit in on my live session later today for the mentoring, I'll probably be looking for some scalps during those sessions. But anyways, let me go back to, wow, look at this big bullish move. This is why we hold off. But if you guys did take this scalp right here, because there was a buy scalp here off this red candle, if you took that, you would have hit some nice profit. Whether this red candle or this green candle, there's both entries for both. Looks like these both would have been pretty nice in profit on its way to full TP there. And then if you took this red candle, it would have hit TP already. So looks good for the most part. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else for us to look at. Yeah, like what CT mentioned here. Said ceviche tacos. I gave up beer for Lent. Oh man, it's tough too, bro. Beer as well. CT said there's a price rotation and lunch New York. I expect a run up to close, but we'll see. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mentioned earlier too, right, CT? We're both looking at the same thing. Generally, price will go down halfway through the session and then it'll go back up the other session. So I'm not going to take any more trades from this point. I don't want to risk any of my profits that I made today. I'm just going to sit on my hands and then I'm going to wait for this to play out. Then I'll be back during Asia session to lock in some more profits. The usual, guys. It's the same thing every single day. We just apply the same strategy and then rinse and repeat. Yeah, David said there's a nice imbalance above for GU. I agree. So let me pull up the Forex pairs real quick. I'm not looking at any more indices, guys. I'm done for indices today. We're not for today, but just for this session. But looking at this here, so this becomes risky. Like NZD USD, you see this big candle? When it's a big candle like that, it's kind of risky because odds are it's probably gonna have to retrace a little bit before it ends up closing. Or like for example here, I would want to call these trades already for the buy signal, but I'm worried that by the time this 20-minute time countdown drops, it's going to disappear because this candle can still disappear. It doesn't necessarily need to close. Same for AUD USD here. There's some big moves off this candle. So I'll probably only be calling one position. I might call AUD JPY though. I'll call that for you guys because it lines up with their with their CAD JPY. So, tempted. Let's see, NZD. Here, let me check. I think the JPY is just really weak right now. So we got the Australia index versus the JXY. Yeah, the Japanese index is super weak. So you guys can see here, I drew this from yesterday. It dropped heavily since then. The Aussie index is up. Let me check the NZD index. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're both up right now. So it just depends if I want to take a buy for a odd or for NZD. See, this is a 70 pip move. This is a 60 pip move. I think we'll call AUD JPY. So guys, I'll call this for you guys in the premium right now. And then I will probably be logging off shortly. So let me see, buy stop. That's the wrong one. Let's put a buy limit entry. I mean, it's fine. 70 pip move for AUD JPY. Delete these so I don't get mixed up. I'm gonna give you guys the wrong parameters because these prices kind of line up with the others. 70 pip move. It's 35 minus 17. All right, guys. I just called that trade for you guys in the premium group. So there you guys go. For you guys that are premium members, let me just set these alerts up real quick. 17. 35. Right. So I call that trade for you guys there. So it's technically active right now. It's at that entry point. So I mean, technically it is active right now. If you guys were to enter this trade at that price point. So our AUD JPY, that's the only trade that when we have this running, we have two trades running, AUD JPY and CAD JPY. CAD JPY is pretty heavy in profit right now. It's on its way to full TP. So let's see. Profit about 30 pips or so right now. And then AUD JPY should be filled and moving in profit as we speak. So other than that, guys, I think that's it for the day. Let me see. Cam was asking, it's smart to have a sell stop to, no, Cam, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't necessarily take that. Like I wouldn't do that because the thing is, if price spikes around camo, it can trigger your order, and then you might not want to be in that trade, right? So I wouldn't put a sell stop. I would just avoid it for today because I don't think it's going to come back down anytime soon. So yeah, Steven said just hit TP on US 30 buy. So nice, nice. It looks like Steven, he took this trade right here. One of these right here. So if you did take that red candle right there, it looks like, yeah, you would have hit full TP off that. Nice. So Steven, nice work if you caught that trade. I was telling you guys that was a risky trade, so I wouldn't have taken it. But if you guys did, congrats to you, bro. So all right, guys. So I think that's it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out on Telegram or through email. I have like 200 emails to get through. So if you guys are emailing me, I'm probably not going to get to you that quickly. But I will get to you eventually. And I'm so annoyed. None of my trades here went through on my personal Hugo's Way account. That's why it's hard to trade on to copy them to those accounts because they don't copy over. It's kind of annoying, but I mean, whatever. Not much I can do about it. Anyways, so guys, thanks for showing up. I just reminded I'll be going live again later today in about 5 hours with Alan. So if you guys want to sit in on that live session, it's completely free. Just the only thing you'll have to do is you'll have to like this stream. You have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll have to turn on notifications because I don't share that link. But if you let YouTube know that you want to watch my videos, they will send over an email to you when I go live. They'll send something like, hey, Shawn, it's going to be like, hey, Shawn's going live for his mentoring session. If you want to sign up, then, sign up. Or I mean, if Shawn is going live for his mentoring session, if you want to sit in on the session, here's a link, and they'll give you the direct link to my mentoring session. So that's the way that you guys can sit in on these mentoring sessions. So Marcus is asking, is there a promo for new members? No, Marcus, there's no promo because we plan on closing the sign up. So the demand's too high right now. We actually don't want people to sign up because obviously I'm busy trading, right? So there's no promo going on. If you miss a sign up, then you miss a sign up. You might have to wait a couple months, maybe a year or so to sign up later. Just whenever I decide to reopen it, right? Because if I'm too busy with my trading, I'm not going to take a break from my trading just to teach people. Whoever's in K2, you guys will keep getting taught by me. But for new members, I'm not really going to make an effort to like get new people to sign up because I just don't have time for it. Like, obviously, I want to keep scalping. So I'm actually limiting the signups because I just don't want to have to teach brand new people. So yeah, Marcus, sorry, there's no promo for it right now. There probably is never going to be a promo again. There was a promo last year, but that expired on the 1st. And it's not, we're not planning on bringing it back like really ever because the demand's just too high, right? If you guys want to learn from me, there's only one of me and there's like hundreds of you guys. So I can't teach every single person every single day unless you guys come on these live sessions. So I think that's about it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Our odd JPY is currently running around entry point, and then we'll be looking for some more scalps maybe during Asia session. So if you guys want to sit in on that session, again, that's at 2 p.m. my time, which is in about 5 hours. So until then, guys, I'll catch you guys on that mentoring session in a few hours from now. But thanks for showing up. And if you guys have questions, just reach out to me on Telegram. But other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next session. So see you guys later. Let me see if I could get this thing. Hold up, guys. 1 second. Let me just see if I could. One person's asking about US 30 real quick. Yeah, no entry there. Someone's asking if there's an entry. So technically, this would have been an entry right here off this one, this green candle. Let me just rewind it real quick. This always happens, right? The last second, somebody wants to ask a question. And I don't mind. But anyways, this would be an entry right here because this candle right here rejects off this pivot and the structure. But like I mentioned, I wouldn't take the trade because it's just too risky. But if you were to take that trade, technically it would be active right now, right here. And it would be pushing up to that point over there. So I think that's about it, guys. Hopefully I answered all your questions. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the